Well, none of them can hide from the truth, yeah. Children have to go back to the roots, yeah. None of them can hide from the truth, yeah. Children have to go back to the roots. I'm telling you now, the truth, the truth. Telling you, yeah, the truth, the truth. You have to go back to the roots, the roots. Go to the roots, to the roots. Yeah, man, you know, this is Benjamin out of the Smiling Coast, West Africa, Gambia, representing for the one and only Abu, the big man you don't know, the Soninke warrior, the man that brings the truth, Soninke warrior, the sign of enlightenment, the Soninke warrior, the righteous and the true African. Abu, reveal the truth to them, you know, no matter how them try run from it, because none of them can hide from the truth, yeah. Yes, we have to dig back the roots, yeah. Fire!
Subscribe now.
I remember the days, all those years ago that never fade away. And I remember your face when you hit the ground. I can recall the time and place on a midnight walk through the old streets, trying to turn back the clock to the days of old, back to the days when all the things we knew were made of gold. As the world moves on, time sings a song, in the old neighborhood.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Afridamus Report. I'm your host, Afridamus. Please make sure you like and subscribe to the channel if you're not already subscribed. And I want to welcome all of you to today's edition of the Afridamus Report. So, ladies and gentlemen, we have a debate news here. But before we get into that, guys, please make sure you like the video. I get it, you know. Sometimes the show is so good, you forget to hit the like, you get too engaged. But don't be stingy with the like, because that's going to bring a lot more people around. So this conversation, as you can see, you know, is a debate between liberal and conservative Muslims in America. And this type of conversations, like I told you guys, I was born and raised a Muslim in a society where majority of the people are Muslim. I'm talking in the upper 90s. So you would think in these societies, you know, the conversations, you know, would be allowed since the majority is Muslim. But no, this conversation we're about to have here, in most Muslim countries, majority, this is not tolerated. This is not acceptable. But sometimes you have to allow people to express themselves, because if this is about their salvation, don't you think you should have the discussion? Because in this video, this conversation, what I've seen, there is a female, a woman there who claims she's queer. And she's going to use tactics that, you know, some of you, if you have been paying attention, you would understand, you know, what tactic she's using. It's like infiltrate a group, bastardize their belief system, and take it over. See, when I saw, for instance, from what I know to be Islam, what the rules are, you see, from what I know, it does not accept, you know, homosexuality. And many of you know this. But today in the Western world, especially America, their main agenda is to promote homosexuality. And for the most part, they have succeeded. They have infiltrated the Christian churches, as you guys know. Even the Pope came out, you know, supporting these things, right? They have infiltrated the, you know, the Boy Scouts. anything that is, that, draws a clear distinction, a line between, male and female. What did they do? They slowly entered these groups. Now you go around in America, they've made it normal to have the rainbow flag on churches. They have even pastors, I'm talking pastors, who are coming out saying, oh, yeah, they are homosexuals. But, ladies and gentlemen, let me ask you this. Don't you guys think that is a problem? Imagine, right? You have your organization. A person comes, they're like, oh, you just got to let me in. You're like, but our rules, our religion, what we believe in is against what you are, what you're practicing. And then they're like, they shame you, or they move up slowly. They would hide it until they gain position. Then they change it. Well, now this debate, clearly, what it's showing me is the same thing is happening with Islam, especially in America. See, they've sent two, in this debate, two black American women. Pay close attention, right? When they wanted to dismantle any job place they want to destroy, who do they send? The same group of people. Because they want to use the black skin and slavery. So let's find out if this is going to work with Islam. If it's going to work with Islam. So I don't want to keep you waiting. I have the tape here from Jubilee, and we would hear the conversation. These conversations that, how some of the Muslims that call over here who are all up in their feelings, I don't know, either they are ignorant, they don't know what, because you see, ignorance causes one to lash out. Because you see, when the person doesn't know what they are talking about, they don't have the intelligence. When you question them, they take offense to it. They would attach their feelings to it. You're like, okay, wait a minute, buddy. Why are you upset at a simple question? If you have the capability, the intelligence, the knowledge to defend your position, you should clearly do that. So these folks that went to this debate, they know what they are talking about. And it was, some of them do not know what they are talking about. The Western civilization, I remember back in the days, many of our elders, they don't support the idea of us, their children, moving to the Western world. Because especially the females, they say, don't put them in Western schools. Because he said it's easy to brainwash them. They would turn them inside out, and they would come back and corrupt our civilization. And many people today, that's what they are facing. Many have left their all Muslim society, Muslim communities, with their strong belief, thinking, oh, we're moving to the West for better life. Yes. I mean, two things can be right, but what are they giving up? What are they giving up? So let me do my disclaimer here, and then we'll get right into it. Guys, this is not going to be one of those super long video streams. I want to, cut back, start streaming at 2 hours, because that makes it easy to watch. You see what I'm saying? So let me do my disclaimer and we'll get into the video. All right, so there's that. So guys, I'm about to start this video here, this debate. Let's hear what they will say here. And I know some of the Muslims watching, this is going to blow your mind. Well, welcome to the real world. Maybe your parents have shielded you from reality, or you've tried to shield yourself from reality. But as long as you live in the Western world and you are on this internet, you cannot shield yourself from this. Wouldn't you want to know what you want to pretend like this doesn't exist? Is Muslims, they're like, oh, anyone that come, they're like, oh, alhamdulillah, Muslima, oh, let's bring the blacks in. Well, let's find out what they are bringing into your religion here.
People have been queer since the beginning of time.
Exactly, they have, and no one's denying it.
And people have acted upon that. There's poetry, there's erotic homosexual poetry.
That's a sin. If you look at every other religion, that's a sin in every religion.
No, it's not.
And guys, one thing I forgot to mention in this debate here, pay attention, close attention to the backgrounds of the people that are trying to force, or are loose about the Muslim rules. The people that came and joined, check out that, let's hear their background. They won't tell us, but we know what their backgrounds are. Their parents did not just immigrate to the Western world. These are, people who came from different backgrounds and joined Islam. So they are working on taking it down.
Step forward if you agree with the prompt. A good Muslim woman wears a hijab.
First thing I want to make clear is that a Muslim woman who doesn't wear the hijab, that doesn't mean that she's not a good Muslim. The reason that I step forward is because that means that this woman has taken on the challenge of going out every single day, wearing a headscarf and wearing the proper clothing. When they go outside wearing the hijab, everyone that looks at them knows they're a Muslim. It's an extremely, extremely, extremely difficult task that neither me or you will ever understand. But I have an extreme amount of respect for any woman who wears the hijab properly.
Yeah, of course, I agree with you 100%.
So these are the conservative ones, right? So right then and there, already they are bringing the American nasty politics into Islam. So those people, the ones that didn't come, are the liberal ones. So one of the tenets of Islam, you would think, wearing the hijab is a sign of the woman being a good Muslim woman. Although you've seen the video I did previously a couple of days ago. Sure, there can be something hidden behind the hijab. But hey, in Islam, like they say, Allahu Alam, only God knows. It's between you and God. But in the surface, the hijab is a sign of being a good Muslim woman.
Look to the Quran, which is our book, and the Sunnah of the Prophet, which is like the way the Prophet lived, peace be upon him. And what does it say about the hijab? Hijab is something that's ordained for women in the Quran.
Can they disagree? Step forward.
So I think that one of the main reasons why I disagreed is because of the statement, a good Muslim woman. And I think that you can be a bad Muslim woman as well and wear the hijab. And then also.
So the woman talking, she's clearly all ninjaed up, right? She's all ninjaed up. Okay. But she did not step up to it. So she's covered up in the burqa, but she's quote unquote liberal Muslim. So you guys see what's happening here? Latoya from FBA joined the Islamic group. She says she's full-blown Muslim, but she's gonna come here and give her reasons. Let's hear her out.
The hijab is not just limited to the headscarf. It's how you dress and how you carry yourself as well.
I was gonna say, so actually I have a question for both of you then. Let's say you meet a Muslim woman, you marry her, she's wearing hijab.
So there's the Muslim Indian guy. Some of these youngsters who are like, they're super liberal. They will say, oh yeah, because you're born Muslim. But he's a simp, you know. So he thinks he's gonna go against it. He's a young guy. He doesn't have much experience. And he claims to be Muslim, but he's against Islam at the same time.
But one day she says like, hey, I don't feel like maybe I won't wear hijab anymore. I guess like what are your thoughts be on that and on her decision for doing that?
It's about finding out why they were wearing the hijab in the first place. Like, was it forced upon them by their parents, or was this something that they came to the conclusion themselves that, oh, you know what, I believe in Islam and I believe it's said in the Quran about wearing the hijab.
Where do you see in the Quran that it requires hijab?
So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, وَقُلِ الْمُؤْمِنَاتِ يَغْضُضْنَ مِنْ أَبْصَارِهِنَّ وَيَحْفَظْنَ فُرُوجَهُنَّ وَلَا يُبْدِينَ زِينَتَهُنَّ إِلَّا مَا ظَهَرَ مِنْهَا وَلْيَضْرِبْنَ بِخُمُرِهِنَّ عَلَى جُيُوبِهِنَّ. So the word khimar, it doesn't use the exact word hijab.
So you see right then and there, this is exactly the same tactics. The Rainbow Coalition people, this is how they started challenging the Christians even here in America. Because, oh, where does it say in the Bible this? Or they would make you denounce what the Bible say and reinterpret it to fit them, right? To fit them. So you see the two black females who are staunch about bringing in baggage from their Western culture. They are like either adults or Caribbean, but they are not usually your usual type of Muslims who are born and raised in it. So take note to that. So the guy, he challenges him. Here's the verse, Quran chapter 24, verse 31. And he recited it in Arabic, just so you all know.
But the word khimar means headscarf.
Yeah, that makes sense. I guess for me, in how I read the Quran, the translation that I have, the word isn't required, it should. That women should cover their heads and cover their chests. And so that's why I hesitate with saying that it's an obligation, because it's more of a, I would say, should isn't must.
So personally, I guess I just took the prompt too literally. I mean, I consider myself a good Muslim, alhamdulillah, but I don't wear the hijab, obviously. Even if the Quran doesn't specifically say that this is required, the interpretation of the Quran has said that it is required, and I do believe that. I know it's...
All right, so you see, like, for instance, this woman here, she seemed like Somali or African background. She's like, yes, I'm Muslim. I don't believe that just because the hijab would make you a good woman, because obviously there's the black woman there, Miss Latoya, who's all ninjaed up. You know, she's like, oh no, it's not required. But she's admitting, she's like, look, I'm not covered up, but this is what the laws of Islam are, you know? Like, just because I'm not doing it doesn't mean, you know, now all of a sudden I'm going to pretend like this is legal. So this is what these Western queer people are doing wherever they go. Just like you guys thought they were only challenging African cultures, African countries. No, they are challenging religions too.
Seems kind of contradicting that I'm a conservative Muslim and I don't wear the hijab. I don't think I'm ready to kind of wear the hijab yet. I want to wear the hijab. I need to wear the hijab.
Acting on homosexuality is a sin.
I believe that acting on homosexuality is a sin, especially like if you were expressing sexual desire, because that should take place between a man and a woman under the sanction of marriage. So that is the reason why I do feel as though it is a sin.
And it's pretty clear in the Quran. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, أَتَأْتُونَ الرِّجَالَ شَهْوَةً مِّن دُونِ النِّسَاءِ. Do you guys prefer men over women? When he's talking to the people of Lut, and the Prophet, peace be upon him, sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he says that one of the biggest problems for the ummah is the sin of Lut, or the people of Lut.
Again, we could just all agree, you know, this is not our personal opinion or anything.
So clearly, right? This is, so you look at Islam, the religion, it's not about personal opinion like the man is about to say. But those two people who did not believe that, you know, acting up on, you know, homosexual tendency, it doesn't mean just simply having the lust, you know, it doesn't mean that's the sin. But when you act upon it, now that's what the sin is. That's what the action, you know, It's like when you lust over after someone's wife. Okay, have sin, but it becomes a sin when you act on it. Then it becomes a sin. But these two are about to fight against this group.
That's in the end of the day, when it comes to religion, our personal opinion doesn't matter, right? It doesn't matter. This is what God ordained for us. You know, this is the natural way of humans. Once we start diving in and wanting whatever we want, it just where does it end at that point? When is it going to come to incest next? For instance, in America or in the West, homosexuality 30 years ago wasn't accepted, or 40, 50 years ago, but now it's acceptable. This is the liberal ideal, right? The subjective morality, it just shifts based on the time. We don't shift in our religion. My question for liberal Muslims would be, who dictates objective morality? Islam, as God tells us in the Quran, is a religion in the middle. So it has some aspects you have to believe in from God, and some things that are a little bit more leeway for you. We have to understand which ones are which.
Guys, please get the likes up, So the debate is about to get good here. Kick back and hear the different reasons. So the woman is gonna come here and let them know she's a queer, but I think that's being a lesbian, meaning she like other women. You know, they have all kinds of names: pansexual, sansexual, demisexual. And then you're like, hey, what is pansexual? Oh, it means, you know, I only like women. I'm like, isn't that's what lesbian is? Or they'll be like, pansexual, meaning, oh, I like two women at a time. You're still a lesbian, just a double lesbian, that's all. But here we go.
May I start? Yeah, I don't believe that acting on homosexuality is a sin at all. There's so much to get into. In the story of Prophet Lot itself, you see that they weren't condemned because the people of Prophet Lot were coming to his house to have sex with the men who were disguised as angels, but you can look at it as a condemnation of rape and abuse itself and mistreatment of strangers. And the Quran verse that you cited as well, within that verse, Allah uses the prefix al, which means the, and there's interpretations that exist that say that specifically is talking about those men specifically who leave those women specifically. So meaning that those men who did that had wives that they left to go rape these, or try to attempt to rape these guests in an attempt to bring humiliation upon the Prophet and sorry, I'm getting a little emotional.
Yeah, she's not getting emotional because that's what I'm saying. She's trying to, you know, create a big lie. She cannot believe her own lie. The story of Lot, that's not what the story was about. Because you see, when those angels, according to the book, in the story, those angels came, they were disguised as men. And these angels came to Prophet Lot's house as guests. So the homosexuals of the town came, they demanded that Lot hand over those men to them. Lot told them no, to stay away from them, you know. He even is like offered his daughters to them if it's about sexual desire. They refused. So it's not about the graping. It's about because those angels were sent there to destroy that city. You know, they were sent to destroy the city according to the story because of the homosexuality, you know, that was going on in that city. You see, what she's doing here in Islam, like she, at this point, she's become a kafir. You know what they call a kafir? She's become a kafir because she's taking, you know, according to Islam, she's taking the Islamic, you know, text and trying to flip it to fit her desires, her needs. You see? Why can't, you know, like, she clearly knows what the answers her. But she's like, oh, I'm a queer Muslim, when Islam does not accept that. But she's trying to change the story. And that once you do that, you've become a kafir.
Basically, there's different interpretations of the story of Prophet Lut. One interpretation is that it's about homosexuality, and there are other interpretations throughout history that says it wasn't about homosexuality, but for some reason, the interpretation that it is condemning homosexuality is the dominant narrative. And I think that narrative seriously needs to be contended with, because we're saying that, being homosexual or being bisexual or being anything other than heterosexual is a sin, but Allah creates you like that. Allah creates people who are intersex, like intersex people exist in this world. And so I think there's a lot of different interpretations out there about the story of Prophet Lut, and I think the central point in it is contending with the fact that people use sex as a weapon for domination, weapon for humiliation.
Here we go with, she's using woke ideology to try to push it into Islam. You guys remember I told you guys the story about when I went to these Islamic, the conversation is like this, it's called colored something. So they had people from different groups, they brought a person there. Her name is Fallon Fox. Go look this person up. Apparently this was a man, but they said now it's a woman. And on stage was talking about how she punched like some fighter this is a real woman, but this guy was a woman guy until he's 35. He decided now he's a chick, right? He fights a real chick. I don't know why these chicks they are so delusional. I don't know why they enter into the ring. So imagine me sitting here. Now I decide all of a sudden now I'm a woman. And then I'm like, I'm a fighter. I'm going to enter a ring. Any woman that comes thinking you can fight me, you are a dummy. You're literally dumb. Like, why would you take that chance? But long story short, punched that woman, broke her jaw. So he was telling that story. And that crowd, they were clapping. I was like, man, these people are degenerate. But this is the same people that cry about, oh man, men are terrible. But if you want to beat up women, all you got to do is decide, say, hey, I'm a chick now, and then you would be legally allowed to beat up actual chicks. I think that's what this guy did. So in this place, I saw someone there who was exactly like this lady here. I met somebody there like this lady and another one. They were there to challenge Islam's, laws on homosexuality, queer. So these people will never rest. So they want God to be held accountable for their own, lust.
That's a real issue. And being homosexual, being something that you were naturally created, isn't. My experience being a queer Muslim woman in America has been beautiful. Alhamdulillah, I've met and have been a part of a beautiful Muslim community that is a mix of queer Muslims and not. I don't think I've ever experienced backlash, at least to my face, for being queer and Muslim. Mostly questions or curiosity, but it hasn't ever been anything that felt like hurtful or unsafe.
So there's a couple different points that you said that I want to rebuttal and respond to. So the first one being that you said being homosexual, being bisexual, all those things is a sin. First of all, that's incorrect. Being any of those things in itself is not a sin. So that's why when the Prophet is acting on homosexuality, that is the sin. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, "La yukallifu Allahu nafsan illa wus'aha." He does not burden a soul with anything more than it can take. As a Muslim, you believe that, like you just said, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala created us all, and He created homosexual people with those people with those tendencies for a reason. But at the same time, this whole life is a test, right?
Yep.
And for the person who has those tendencies, then that's an extremely difficult test that they're going to have to go on with for the rest of their lives. But
that's an assumption that is the only test. What if the test is living in a world that hates you, that thinks that you cannot act on a desire of love?
But you see, she's using woke ideology again. No personal accountability. It has to be always is people that is, what if people hate me? Like, how do you know they hate you? Did they come to you and tell you that they hate you? But if she says she believes in Allah, Allah is the one that created it, why would you care what the people, if they hate you or not? Just believe in what Allah said, according to the book, right? But no, she's not going to be satisfied. They want to come there and be the one to change what Islam says.
Of a consensual love, but still being committed to Allah. What if that's the test itself?
That's part
And
of
that's
it.
what I think is the
Yeah,
test.
and that's, I would say,
And that's the interpretation out there that we're not talking about.
I have a question.
I'm sorry. I would just also like to add, the Quran also kind of is about the nature, right? The nature of life, and so homosexuality, not homosexuality, acting upon homosexuality goes against the nature of why we were born. Yeah, and so we were kind of like made in order to procreate, right? We need to
But there's people who
that's
can't
sunnat
procreate,
al-hayat.
though.
That's the way of life.
But I would disagree that the purpose of being with someone is to procreate, because in the Quran, Allah says that Allah creates mates for us so that we can find love, tranquility, and peace. And I think a lot of the reason why a lot of people think that acting upon homosexuality is a sin is because of hadith. And in those small numbers of hadith that are like unambiguously correct, there is no mention of homosexuality in those hadith.
So,
Read Homosexuality in Islam by Dr. Siraj Al-Haq. He talks about this extensively. Keisha Ali also talks about this. These are
Of course, they're going to mention, their own queer writers. So this is what the argument always is. Like one time I was having this nice little debate with someone. So it's supposed to be about, the Bible. But when I mentioned the Bible, the book that they presented, the person is like, no, you can't believe anything that says, but then tells me a name of some queer person, what book they wrote. I'm like, okay, so a book that people know for centuries, they say is from God. So you want to tell me, whatever is coming out of that book is garbage. But this other person here who thinks they are something other than what we are seeing, that's who I should listen to. You see what I'm saying? So there's no middle ground here. Her job here is to come and convince them, and to her, just forget about what all those Muslims wrote, but what our writers, the two queers, wrote, that takes precedent over everything Islam have written, in this past 1400 years.
both two contemporary scholars talking about this.
These are minority scholars in the way that, why is
And
this
that's
only,
fine.
yeah, no, why is this an issue only now, but not in all of this time of
It
Islam?
has
with all
always
this-
been an issue.
No,
It's
it's
an
not, for
issue.
sure it hasn't. The climate we live in nowadays, the
People
liberal
have been
mindset.
queer since the beginning of time.
Exactly, they have.
That's what I'm saying.
No one's denying that.
And people have acted upon that. There's poetry.
And
There's
that's-
erotic
And that's a sin.
homosexual
That's a sin.
poetry.
If you look at every other religion, that's a sin in every religion.
No, it's not.
Yeah.
Yes, it is. See, she's clearly lying. Oh, like this lady, LAD lady say, okay, so she ain't procreate, so leave her alone. Ma'am, nobody is forcing her. She's like, oh, mind your business. She is the one forcing herself in a religion to try to change what the religion's doctrine is. If she just want to be queer, she can just follow the book of queer and not go try to change other people's book. You guys notice how you can't speak about anything against these people, because what it is to dumb you down. If you cannot use the words, if you're not allowed to think it, right? You see how persistent she is to dominate you, to make it sound like this is normal. This is normal. If you're not allowed to push back, it's like it's normal. So you see how nervous she is? Because these people she's going against, they believe in Islam. It's not your regular, weak, simpish American male who have been trained to not push back on these things. Because these guys don't care if they call them, homophobic or whatsoever. It's not like your regular, like white dudes who are afraid of that word. These people do not. So that's why she's very nervous, because she's afraid of getting exposed, her BS getting exposed.
It's not up to me for it to interpret. That's why that's
course
what Allah
it is. Then what are we supposed to do?
You look up to the
What?
people with knowledge. You look up to the people who have dedicated their lives to interpreting this.
And
In the
you
past
can do the same
1400 years,
thing.
I have.
It's
That's what I'm
not-
saying. You can't ignore
It's not
all the
just
scholars of the 1400 years.
I'm not ignoring them, but you can't just say they're the only ones who are correct. I just told you
It's
two
not just
contemporary
one.
scholars who have alternative.
Two compared to thousands.
Sure.
And there's way more who are also thinking about this.
Yeah, sorry. I really appreciate. I know you're all very passionate about this topic, but I think there's not going to be a middle ground, which is okay. I think the point is just to still have a conversation, and I appreciate that you guys are still listening to each other and talking. That we have to move on to the next prompt. The other side taints the image of Islam.
I think that the reason why I step forward is because I feel like a lot of conservative Muslims, as a Muslim revert, have very strong cultural beliefs. That can be very intimidating for somebody who is new to the religion. And it kind of discounts like who I am and my own deen.
So here we go. Latoya joins Islam. Obviously Latoya came with a baggage. Okay? So yeah, she can cover up from top down. Maybe it's just fashion or trendy for her, but she is as liberal as they come. She is as woke as they come. Okay, so a lot of these people, they, like when they're gonna have a hard time if they want to go to other Muslim countries. They better stay here in America and push this over here. In other places, it's not gonna work.
So that's why I think that I feel that way, just because of the interactions that I've had with like foreign Muslims.
Yeah, I love that point because for me personally, people who revert, we say revert obviously because we believe that every person is born Muslim, but then they get changed their creed by their parents, right? People nowadays, they have some weird thing like, oh, if I was born Muslim, like they think they're better and they treat them rudely. This is not the way of a Muslim, right? The Muslim, they accept everyone as they come to the religion,
I was originally born into Christianity, and then I went on to college to study religious studies. And at that time is whenever I found peace with Islam. And so I decided to revert. I think the reason why I consider myself to be a liberal Muslim versus conservative is because I am a revert. And I know that I have so much more to learn, and I'm open to that. I also believe that within Islam, you have free will and free choice to make the correct decision. And so I find a lot of compassion for people in that way because I did live life for many years before Islam.
People are so.
She said she's lived life before Islam. What were you doing, Latoya? We're in Ramadan. Latoya, do you know how to work a pole? A pole. Did your past job involve climbing a pole? Making sure the electricity works well. Just asking.
Worried about cancel culture. People are so worried about what everyone else thinks. People are so worried about being accepted by society. But who cares? As a Muslim, it's our responsibility to only care about what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala thinks and not care about what anyone else thinks.
Okay, so I guess why I disagreed with the prompt is because I feel Islam is way stronger to be kind of tainted by a group within it. I may not agree with everything that liberal Muslims think or view, but that doesn't mean I feel like they are like this big negative thing on Islam, because I just don't feel like Islam can be affected by it.
But she doesn't know what she's talking about. She said, I feel. Ma'am, I bet the Christians in America felt that. Now, Christians are not allowed to speak out openly. Okay? So I bet you they were casual like that. Now, most of them are casualties. Oh, I feel like. This is why, look, this is no shade on women, but you cannot take protective, reasoning from women. Like they are casual about things. Oh, I don't think. What do you know? Oh, you don't think of people who want to bend the rules and doctrine of your religion, once you allow them in, you don't think they'll be able to do that? And you don't think that's a problem? Okay.
I agree that the fact that Islam itself can't be. The reason I agreed is because the perception of Islam, I feel like that's what's being affected.
I disagree with that. I don't think that's true. I don't think having those different ideologies really taint either side, because it's not like someone's gonna see like, for example, like you might not agree with this, but I support gay rights, right? And I'm Muslim, and no one's looking at me like, oh, now all Muslims support gay rights.
So said he supports gay rights. Islam does not support or recognize that Islam says overcome it. So he's like, oh, I'm Muslim, but I support gay rights. Sir, that removes you out of the circle of Islam. You know, like he is way too liberal, way too liberal. So instead of just be, regularly woke, a regular American, then saying, oh yeah, I'm Muslim, but I support gay rights. Like what does that even mean?
Gay rights. I'm like, no, it's not true. It's just my personal preference. And that's why I kind of disagree with both of you guys. You guys say personal opinion doesn't matter in religion. I feel like it does at the end of the day, because religion is about who you are too.
Personal opinion is okay until it goes against what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said or what the Prophet, peace be upon him, has said, sallallahu alaihi wasallam. And no one's saying your opinion doesn't matter. Everybody's opinion matters. But in relation to Islam, your opinion isn't going to change the ruling. You know what I'm saying?
I agree with that, yeah.
But the ruling itself comes from people's opinions. You realize that, right? Like jurists, like that is what you do with the law. You interpret the law and you make a ruling from
It's
it based on
important
that.
to kind of like, it's important to note that, people who kind of interpreted the Quran, like you're saying, they're not just like normal people like me and you.
But
They've kind of like, no, they are, but like those are like scholars who kind of, like you said, dedicated their life to kind of studying the Quran.
Of course. And I think those people are also biased, like everyone, right? Like everyone has their...
I don't think in the case of Quran that...
So she's out for blood. We all know what they want. They want to come and turn things, flip it upside down, just like they've been doing with everything, especially in America. Flavors of Continents. Afridamus, how do you feel about Malema supporting LGBTQ and going against Uganda? We will do a show about that. Look, I've always suspected like Malema is a puppet, okay? So a lot of these people you see around Africa, this, quote unquote Pan-Africans, I've been telling you guys, these people are hustlers. These people are fake. Like Malema was able to keep the energy, fake it, say some good stuff. We're like, oh man, this guy is onto something. No, Malema is a total sellout. He's a puppet, right? Like, if he doesn't agree with, Uganda, it is Uganda's sovereign right to pass the law in their country. But look at what Malema did. Who is behind Malema? I thought you guys said Malema was against the white man. Malema is supporting the white man's agenda. And this LGBTQ thing, if this didn't expose the truth, I don't know what is. But we will do a show on Malema here. All these sellouts need to be exposed.
That can be possible.
It is possible because we're humans. All humans are biased and subjective because the fact that we're human, we have a different experience. I'm going to interpret something or look at something completely different than another human being is, because that's the nature of our existence. It's subjective.
Just to make it clear, this religion is done.
Habibi, you are absolutely 100% correct. This woman is super disrespectful. Very disrespectful to the religion she claims to follow. You're right. Okay, if you're going to dismiss everything as bias, why are you part of that religion? Like, why are you part of that religion? Unless there is a different motive. You're 100% right. She claims to be part of the religion, but she challenges everything as bias. So, what is she talking about?
It has been perfected, as Allah tells us in the Quran. It's not like these scholars are just coming in and changing something new. This is something that we get it from a source. We always have to go to the higher truth. The higher truth is the Prophet and what the companions learned from the Prophet, right? Because if we're just going to go, then yes, exactly your point, because humans are subject to that bias, right? But we get it from the best source, which is our Prophet, right? If we don't follow the Prophet, who are we going to follow?
It's acceptable for a Muslim man to have more than one wife.
I guess for me, I think.
Watch, Natalie shows up. You see what? Because it's about sexuality. So she's going to pretend to support this, right? Because she's in her mind, she's seeing that as promiscuity. So that would give her the way to be able to do her queer thing. I'm telling you.
Monogamy is not for everyone. And so I think Muslim men,
You see what I told you? Monogamy is not for everyone. This is what the dating scene is in America. These queer people, this is what these people believe in. They believe like there's a video going around on the internet. This woman who has two husbands. Of course, they are black. Who, two husbands. So these people would do anything that is unnatural and try to push it as natural.
A woman can have more than one partner if it's consensual.
God tells us in the Quran that you can marry up to 4, but the precaution is that you maintain equity between them. And if you can't, then you have to stick to 1. You mentioned that men and women, this is the difference, right? Because only men in this way. A man can marry up to 4 because think of this situation. Say, for instance, he had more than one wife. Say, for instance, 4 wives, right? And he gets one of them pregnant, right? Everyone's going to know who the husband is and who the father is. If a woman has more than one husband, someone gets her pregnant, everyone's going to know who the father is. That's not the exact reason, but I'm saying just an example, just to think about it, And in the end of the day, this is because Allah told us the way.
We live in a vastly different time. We view women differently in this world. Just because that is what the Quran said in that context doesn't mean that we can't interpret differently now.
Okay, maybe I'm the old-fashioned one because I always believe I believe marriage is always like a love marriage. I don't think you can love.
So here comes the simp again. Yeah, so this guy also the same thing, claims to be Muslim, right? The Western philosophy have completely corrupted his mind. He doesn't even realize everything he seems to support goes against Islam. But he's gonna come here, no experience, no knowledge. First he supported the dating, now he's gonna go against, polygamy, having extra wives. Even though Islam said it. What he doesn't realize, once you say you're Muslim, you are not supposed to criticize these things because now that removes you out of Islam. But okay.
Of 4 people at the same time. That's just my personal opinion. If you do get married to the person that you want to be for the rest of your life and the person you share love with, not someone you just get married because you have the authority to marry up to 4 people. So
you could have a love marriage, but you can also have an institution of marriage. And I also think that that's what Islam kind of bases marriage around as well, right? Because even the model after the Prophet, peace be unto him, when it came to him having 4 wives, it was based off of actually merging tribes together, political reasons, and also someone was a widow. So with that being said, I think that it's just different. And I think that that's one of the topics that we kind of have to seek the wisdom behind before we just make it about today's times.
Yeah, can men marry 4 wives, 4 women? Yes, but you can't. I mean, you can't be
unjust.
Yeah, you can't be just with all the 4 of them.
The 4 wives have to agree to it too.
Exactly. Yeah. If you want to marry someone else, a lot of women themselves don't even want. They don't want. They're not okay with that.
So yeah, you can do it, but you'll never be able to do it the right way. So don't do it.
Christianity deserves the same scrutiny as.
So of course, even back in Gambia, I've always the argument. The men, they like to bring up the verses that talk about marrying 4 wives. It's always a woman that's against it. I get it, but let's be real. It's in the book. It's in the book. So Latoya, you guys heard Latoya's point of view right there. So Latoya still got some hood in her. Being Muslim did not change her. Just saying, my observation. And Natalie over here, Natalie is hoping to turn this Muslim girl inside out. That is her goal. But here we go.
Islam.
Yeah, I think that Islam is very scrutinized in Western media, specifically for their practices. Because if you are following the word by text, a lot of it doesn't align with what Western values hold. Islam has always been a target for people on the Western side, people around the world. And I think Christianity has always been seen as kind of just like this top of the level religion. It's you're a Christian, you're a good person, you can't do no wrong.
Yeah, I think all religions need scrutiny. I think any religion can be taken to extremes. You cannot understand certain things.
So clearly, Natalie and Buddy over here, yeah, they're like, yeah, we gotta scrutinize it. And he's like, oh yeah, they pick on Islam. Sir, people are not free to openly criticize Islam. If there's anything that people know, that's one thing. So it looks like you're from Pakistan originally or India. if you're from Pakistan, these things that you're saying here and the things that you said you're supporting, try and go over there and just mention that you support this. And even after this video going viral, because millions of people have viewed this, if I were you, I would postpone my travel to your native Pakistan. It might not go well.
And so do things that are harmful to others. In terms of Christian history, you had the Crusades, and Islamic history, you also had colonialism as well. So yeah, every religion needs to be scrutinized. We can't just follow blindly.
Yeah, I think the question was hard for me to answer because I don't believe that any religion really needs scrutiny. I think that for me as a born Christian, I can understand why Christianity and Islam are like kind of like looked at kind of differently just based on like rituals and like the way that it's expressed out into the world. But I guess the question kind of just like caught me up with this.
Guys, see Latoya's type, when you see her, run the other way, okay? These chicks that jump from religion to religion, you know, they just got this fast voice. You're like, okay, wait, you're trying to figure it out. You're like, okay, Latoya, really, what are you trying to achieve now? You know, 3 years ago, you told me you were Jehovah's Witness, okay? Then you became a Hebrew Israelite. Now you're a Muslim. Now you are a Muslima. So, and you don't want to scrutinize these things. You know, I don't know. Latoya, we're going to try to figure you out.
Scrutiny part, like what exactly are we scrutinizing and why?
I agree. There shouldn't be any scrutiny on any religion. And because, why do I say this? Because Allah tells us in the Quran, when He gave the revelation to the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, talking to because who were the people in Mecca? They were pagans, right? He told them, don't attack their gods, don't say anything bad to their gods. And also when Allah tells us, God tells us when we're talking to Ahlul Kitab, meaning the people of the book, the Christians and the Jews, we speak in a nice way.
Yeah, I just don't like how Islam gets treated worldwide in the modern sense. I think we're always like perceived as the bad guy. It's always us, you know. It's always
Dude, what the hell? You came here and totally went against Islam's principles for the queer lady. You are criticizing Islam, but you're claiming to be one. That's very weird.
Attack this, Islam did, or you live in an Islamic country, it's violent, stuff like that. So I definitely think it's unfair how we're always like the scapegoat for religions. I grew up in a more dominant white suburb in Illinois. I suffered heavy racism like every day in middle school and elementary school. You know, the original remarks, terrorist, go back to your country, all that stuff. Growing up as a kid, I was religious. But then as I got to high school and college and started forming my own thoughts, I kind of went away from Islam. I kind of explored other things. But then the last
So they called you terrorist and all. Yeah, that's true. His color, they would have called him a terrorist. Early 2000s, mid 2000s to late 2000s. Yeah, it wasn't cool being a Muslim in his color. You can be a black Muslim, though. For some reason, they don't take black Muslims serious unless you're Omar Farouk from northern Nigeria. But other than that, if you had this color, we see why you would support the Rainbow Coalition, because you're afraid.
3 to 4 years, I started reading more about Islam. I started practicing more because I finally had my own freedom to actually practice it, and not have my dad and my parents like, oh, you have to do this, you have to do that. So I definitely felt more like comfortable practicing on my own.
The Quran must be reinterpreted for the 21st century.
Well, I feel like this is kind of like the crux of what I've been saying this whole time. You always need to reinterpret the Quran. Whoever is looking at the Quran, whoever's reading it, needs to interpret it, needs to understand what Allah is telling that person. All the information, everything that we're learning is about getting us closer to a just future. And in the time of the Prophet, slavery was well and alive. The Quran.
Here comes the slavery. When you bring these blacks into your religion, your organizations, and you're of different color, expect them bringing in slavery talk.
And never outright abolished slavery, but people, through their interpretation, decided that the Quran is leading us to a future where slavery shouldn't be allowed because it's unjust.
Yeah, I agree. I think the Quran as a text is a holy text that should never be changed or obviously rewritten. Like that's off the table. But I think interpretation, kind of we talk about the whole time, matters. I've consulted with different like mosque leaders, different people who actually study Islam, and not once there was like a big overlap because they have
there's still slavery. Okay, there's still slavery, but all right.
Have their own interpretation of what the Quran is into the modern world. So I just think in general there definitely should be a more modern interpretation.
The first thing is, so we as Muslims believe that obviously the Quran is the word of God, and no one is disagreeing with the fact that society has changed. Do you believe that Allah knows the seen and the unseen?
Yes.
Yes. Okay, so when Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala revealed the Quran, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala knew what was going to happen in the future. He knew what was going to happen to society. And when revealing the Quran is timeless. Any reinterpretation of the Quran, I believe, is incorrect, because then what would differ the Quran from the Bible?
And so should slavery still be a thing?
No, but
Okay, the slavery is a whole other topic. And slavery in the time of the Prophet was not the same as the trans, whatever the
Just the act of owning another human being.
That's a whole other thing. They were basically just a servant. They could buy their own freedom. They could.
Oh, she's doing the Marxist thing. They want to enter Islam and try to use Islam's past against it, like they're doing with the white man. Oh, the transatlantic slave trade. So yeah, the book in Islam still, slavery is legal, just so you know. But she still went and joined Islam.
They had rights. They weren't treated like an animal, like how, as we see in our history in America, how it was. This is not what it was. Going back to the actual prompt, the Quran is a rahmah in the people. It's a mercy for the humans Allah gave us to, right? The Quran is the words of Allah, right, of God.
In the simplest form, I just believe that the Quran is like sacred text, and sacred text as a whole just should not be touched. When I think about reinterpretations, I almost think about like amendments in a way. If we believe that the Prophet, peace be unto him, is the last and final messenger, then whatever he was revealed to him, it is that.
you can't reinterpret everything, because the second you open up one thing for reinterpretation, you're opening up the whole religion for reinterpretation.
It's not opening up the whole religion. The religion itself is devotion to Allah alone. That is what Allah says in Surah Al-Baqarah, that Islam equals devotion to religion. Islam equals devotion to Allah alone.
Of course.
Guys, you heard that? The link is in the chat. Hit the link. Come on through. Let's have conversation about this. What do you think? Is there any? Can there be any such thing as a liberal Muslim? And also, can the square or LGBT, can they change Islam's idea or doctrine of the homosexual tendency? If you act upon it, it's a sin in every major religion that we know of, even Christianity, even though we know they've scared them straight into pretending. I mean, in America at least, they say, hey, love is love. They even marry them. So I don't know. It's not even, I don't think it's even about the religion. It's about trying to control the people and forcing yourself on them. Based, Juldo, welcome to the Afridamus Report.
How are you doing? Salam alaikum.
Walaikum salam. I'm doing well. So what do you think about these quote unquote liberal Muslims? Because they have, Latoya, Natalie, they have the skinny dude. Like these people, they claim they are liberal. These are American kids. What do you think they are trying to achieve?
Yeah, the thing is
and they are FBA, by the way. You already can tell, right?
Yeah, I can tell. Tell. Yeah, and my parents even said this, and some of my teachers even said this. They said that it's really not permissible for you to even marry a Western convert due to the simple fact of what they bring into the religion and their own ideas. I mean, I hate to say it, but like with the average like Black American convert who wants to have their cake and eat it too,
right?
They bring their, I hate to say it, but they bring their I guess you can say their degeneracy into it. Like, so now they see that polygamy is allowed, for example, polygamy is permissible in Islam. And so they'll turn around and say, they'll turn around and do the same thing that they've been doing, right? Sleeping with a lot of women, but now they'll say, oh, okay, this is my wife now. They'll just say,
but at least if you look at that, right?
Yeah, but
they are operating within Islam's laws, right?
Yeah.
But this other person, they are coming saying
No, it's sad because these liberal ideas like feminism and this LGBT, once it creeps into the religion, it like kind of like it basically made Muslims lose their way. Like, for example, in the West, there was this one, I was watching this on Instagram, you know, um I was watching this on Instagram and I was just shocked. But there was this one guy, and it's sad that he had to be an African guy. He had to be an African guy, but he was going through his Ramadan procedure, eating his pre-dawn meal. After doing his pre-dawn meal, I'm thinking, okay, cool, he's doing his thing. But then you see him kissing another man, saying,
Wait. Wait.
yeah,
So you saw the guy?
yeah, I'm thinking that, okay, he's regular doing what Muslims do, that what we do. But then,
Okay. Okay. So okay.
and then like also I'm thinking, okay, he's doing the normal Ramadan thing. But then later on in the video, he kisses a man and says, "Yeah, I kissed my husband and then I put my kids to sleep."
Is this was at the mosque?
No, this was on a video on
Oh,
on a
okay. So
TikTok.
in the
It-
video, so
yeah,
now they are promoting this type of
yeah,
videos.
this LGBT and everything. And guess what else that was crazy about it? Okay, the comment section.
Yeah.
The comment section. They had, you guessed it, Keisha supporting this madness.
Yeah, right.
You had other liberal Muslims supporting it.
But can there
It
be?
did,
Is
it
there any
did look.
such thing as liberal Muslim though?
You know what? I've been pretty much socially outcast because I said there's no such thing as a liberal Muslim. Where I come from in Africa, we follow the teachings of Imam Malik ibn Anas. He was there. He was in the city. He was in the city of the Prophet, okay? He took directly from who the prophet passed down to.
So
So
what do you
the
think will happen if this, you see like Natalie and the
yeah,
others,
yeah,
they
yeah,
come up
yeah,
with their ideas to, let's say, where you come from, and
yeah.
she want to promote
And
this.
that's what they're trying to do.
How do you think that would be received?
Okay, well, it's not going to be received in traditional Muslim societies. This one, I'll tell you a story that happened. One, American B dub, she thought she was going to go to, and by the way, she was a convert. She thought she was going to go to Algeria, have this masculine liberal attitude, and she didn't even last a week in Algeria. How come I can last like a month or 3 months in Algeria? And they
I bet
see,
is she gonna say they are racist?
yeah, she's gonna of course say they're racist. And I'm dark as night, and I went there and there was no problem. There was no problem. I was there for a while. I'm actually planning on going back. You know what I mean? Because they're not playing the same games that they're playing here in the West. And so I don't know. The problem is too is the leadership. The leadership
Yeah, but
of
don't you think
in this country.
Western ideology, like
No,
a
but
lot of this is like
no, but that's the problem. The Muslim leadership in the West is not putting their foot down on it either. That's
well,
another
they
issue.
don't have power in the West.
Yeah, and so that's another problem too. Like you would think that the Western Muslim leadership would be like, "Yo, this is not right." But some of them say, "Oh, well, we're living here, so, we have to make Islam inviting for the non-Muslim brothers and sisters. So we have to make it inviting. So by putting all
Well,
these liberal,
they're inviting a lot of people.
yeah,
Then it
they're
sounds
inviting a
like
lot of people, and the people
they
are like,
they are coming. So
yep, yep, they're
so
inviting.
the way they are open, right?
Yeah, yeah.
What's your do you I mean, you're in California, right?
Yeah, yeah.
What do you see the future of Islam in this country, especially because with
Well,
the with the pressure
mhm.
and what the agenda is,
Well,
let's say in the next 5-10 years, do you think Islam would be recognized in the United States as what it was?
we have it in the Quran, and we have everything in different sources that
Yeah, but Natalie and others are
no,
trying to
no,
reinterpret
but
it.
what I'm saying is that what I'm getting to is that these people will never accept you, no matter what you like try to input, as long as you are pushing this, okay, it still doesn't matter. They're still going to look at you as a pawn, okay, to disrupt everything, to disrupt tradition. You know what I mean? And the thing is about this is, and this came from my uncle. He said, just work on a plan for you to live part-time in America and live most of the time overseas, which I'm doing now because of the advent of these crazy ideas, which are now becoming normalized.
Oh,
I hate to say
you
this.
mostly live overseas a lot
Yeah,
now.
yeah. And so what
Mostly,
happens,
do you go back home or just
like,
other?
I go back home, but also I'm setting up shop in Algeria because they have,
Oh, really?
they,
Okay.
yeah, they have a good economy over there, and actually they have a budding infrastructure. In fact, their infrastructure is probably one of the best in North Africa, and it's the biggest African country.
And
But
it's an open market.
it's open market, and also, like, as long as you're having your red tape uh and everything in order, then then it's going to work for you. You know what I mean? But what I'm saying is this, is that these ideas have gotten so much into the religion that, the leadership unfortunately conforms to it. I hate to say it, but I was reading a Facebook post, and one leadership said sodomy is permissible. you know um
Like a Muslim leader said that.
yeah, like, so, like, when you
Hmm.
hear these kind of things, it's bad when the leadership is saying that. Like, that's kind of like,
So that's why I say, it's where is the future for it?
yeah, the future of it is like, it's happening right now. Many people want to hold on to their religion or checking out. Many people, for example, many people, it's sad to say it, but it, the pattern here is when, for example, when a when a mosque has an idea, and then a group of people don't agree with the idea, they start another mosque. And then when those group of people don't agree with the idea, they start another one, they start another one, they start another one. They had they started another one. And so this is like what I'm seeing right now. And me, I take the stance of, like, the traditional stance, which I've been taught. What I mean? Like, I have, like, many teachers. What I mean? And so, like, those teachers passed down to me that, like, yo, like, no, this is not okay at all. What's
Yeah.
happening? They're like, no,
Yeah.
no, no.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Let's see what Kabiru will say. Kabiru, are you there? Kabiru. Kabiru, unmute your mic. Oga. Kabiru, can you unmute? Yeah, I don't know what Kabiru got going on. Go ahead.
Yeah, and so, like, it's just weird to me. It's just weird to me that, like, why would you want to bring something into something that is already established? There's certain things that, like, you can't, like, change. It's just, that's what it is. Like, for example, you were talking about the polygamy thing with the woman. you know, the woman having multiple husbands.
Right.
You know, like if both of those husbands are being like intimate with her, then that's gonna mess up lineage. You know what I mean? Like, and that's what the
But you've seen like for instance, you know, like Natalie and the other covered one.
yes.
Where do you think they're from?
If I were to guess, like, you know, like I don't know, maybe Midwest or something like that.
Yeah, they are definitely FBA, right?
Yeah, yeah, of course. You know, of course. Yeah. Yeah. And so what I'm saying is that, you know, with these ideas, and I hate to say that it's not only coming from them, it's also coming from, you know, these Tupac Kobe converse as well. You know, they bring these liberalist ideas as well. So when they bring those ideas, you know, and of course when they, like, for example, when like the average Pakistani sees
Yeah,
this,
yeah. You know, the guy that he looks
yeah,
Pakistani, he
yeah,
said he supports gay rights and
hmm
he's against
hmm
polygamy,
hmm
like everything that
hmm
Islam is for, right? He's against.
hmm
Do you think if he goes back to his country and says such a thing, how would that go?
I mean, it's not going to go down well, you know, like I can't go back to, for example, I can't go to Guinea-Bissau, and even if Cabo Verde is not really a Muslim country, I can't like go back there and just all of a sudden spring these like liberalist ideas and think that people are going to be like, oh, yeah, right on. You know what I mean? Like, it's just kind of, I'm not saying that they don't happen in these places, but they're not really going to be broadcast, you know?
So, so you know, I don't know if you, when you went to not to Algeria, what is it like? Because you know we were proposing to kick them out.
Yeah,
Algeria,
yeah,
Morocco were proposing to kick them out of
yeah,
Black African,
yeah,
you know.
yeah.
So
Um, you know, the thing is about Algeria, Morocco, and that part in North Africa is that when you look at like the history, um, I'm not saying that there isn't racism there. I'm not going to say, I'm not going to say that there isn't racism. But what I'm saying is that there is like a shared history. I mean, you have scholars from West Africa going to North Africa, you vice versa. You know, I believe that even right now, Nigeria is and Algeria are working on some kind of pipeline or something like that. I don't know if the project is still going on. You know what I mean? So to kick them out would be kind of like pointless because, like, number one, Algeria is the biggest country in Africa. You know what I mean? And number two, even when you look at Algeria's military, it ranks up there with some of the best military in the world. You know what I mean? So,
you know,
and then also I'm going to also bring up another point. Algeria did help other or help Black African countries get liberation, including Guinea-Bissau. The guy Samora Machel, who is from Mozambique, actually trained in Algeria as well for his.
we will have to,
Yeah,
you
yeah,
know,
that's another show in
rethink.
itself.
Yeah,
Yeah,
another
yeah,
one.
yeah,
Yeah,
that's another
yeah,
show in itself.
yeah. Let's bring in Be Brave. Be Brave. Welcome to the Afridamus Report.
Aphrodite Islam is in trouble. Once,
Be Brave. You know, you've watched the video.
oh,
You see exactly what is happening. Can you explain to people what they should be expecting?
well, I only seen a little bit of it, but I can go from liberalism, conservatism of Islam. Um, once the poison attacks a religion, it's done scientifically. So this this is where the conservative Muslims, as I said last time, they better lighten up on the stuff they can lighten up on, because if they don't, that extremism is going to be pointed to as all Muslims are crazy. and that's going to give the agenda of bringing in the gays and everything.
No, the
That's,
gays are already. Didn't you see the Natalie talking about, being queer is not a, acting upon it is not a sin.
Yeah.
So she's trying to reinterpret it.
That's what I'm saying. Once that starts, that's why it's so important for the conservatives to let up where they can, because that extremism is going to always be used as a weapon so as to advance the nuts, the goofballs. Because I hate to break it to Islam, but they're part of a world government, Aphrodite, and this world government isn't playing. They're knocking the hell out of everything. Islam isn't going to get out of this. They're knocking out of Christianity. They're knocking out of everything. They're knocking out of conservatism, and they're using liberals as a weapon the world over. Now,
right.
So if I don't even know why a homosexual would want to be in Islam. If I were gay, I'd say there's nothing in there for me. So,
right.
So it's an attack.
It is an attack.
Yes.
Yes.
Because there's nothing in there for them. That's even in Christianity. When I talk to gays, what do you want to go to a church for? Or start your own church and call it what you want.
Right.
But I'm telling you what's going on.
But you see, that's a good question. Like if they believe in what they believe in, they can just start their own church, and if people want to go there, they can go. But exactly. No, they want to come and join your church and just rotten it from within.
That's what it's about. The Islam. That's why I say the conservatives have to lighten up on women. They must let your women freer than they are. Your women will then want to fight with you. No. If you enslave women, women are going to get friends wherever they can get them. Correct?
Well, this is the problem, and I don't mean to cut you off, but Islam already had the freedom of women. It's only the culture that made the freedom not become on it. So what happened is, like, these feminists, they saw, like, for example, a Muslim woman may say at her job, because there's no problem with Muslim women working. A Muslim woman.
Well, then let me correct myself. Yeah. If the culture forced women into enslavement in the name of Islam, they better stop that.
Yeah, so and that was the issue, and that's the
issue. If they don't stop that, the culture better straighten itself up. Because once the corporate machine sets loose this gay machine on you, it's over.
Well,
and the gay machine will always use the extremists as their point in question. That's what gets them in. If the culture and the Islam, the conservatives actually said, okay, no, we're not playing here. Women are really free. We're not playing here. Now, if they really did that, the women would stay in with their teachings and be more resistant to these goofball gays that want to interpret. But I'm saying, if the women, if they're not set free, they're going to ask gays in to help them get free.
No, but see, you know what? I'll allow the guys to answer that, to see what they think about what you're saying. Okay. Let's bring in Mal. Mal, welcome to the Aphrodite Report, Mal. Mal, are you there? Okay, I don't know what happened. Mal, your audio is messed up. Can you hear me? Okay, I don't know what's going on with Mal. Mal, when you fix that, come back in. Let's have.
Could I ask the panel then this?
Yes, go ahead.
If the women in Islam, because it's just from an outsider looking in, women of Islam looks like they have. I know you call it say within the house, and you say things, they do have freedom. I'm saying according to true freedom, women in Islam are not free.
So, like, when you say true freedom, describe, give like an example.
I will give you. Here's a description of true freedom.
Give me the example. Give me the example of what you mean by freedom. Give me.
Okay. Here's a woman in Islam. She still wants to cover herself up for decency. Buddy, that's about it. They want to get out. They want to drive. They want to have say-so. They want to have equal say-so, which is normal. A smart woman.
Do that. They can do that. They can do that.
They're allowed to do
there. But a smart woman should never be hushed. And if they can do that, and that's already, is that a more conservative Islam, or is that getting towards the more liberal end of Islam?
that's
That women are free.
already in Islam.
Well, you're speaking of
The thing is,
maybe like Saudi Arabia.
yeah,
Well,
the
that's where
Saudi Arabia,
that's
a
going to be
different
the
story.
Yeah,
stronghold.
but
That's
you
a
know,
different story.
you look at it
Yeah,
here.
that's a different
You know,
story.
they are free. Other countries, they are free to drive, do
yeah.
whatever.
Yeah,
So
like
you're pretty much you're free. You know, it's
yeah,
between
like
you and God.
even
But
for
these
example,
people that are coming in, they're you know
no,
the
no,
usual
like
gay agenda.
yeah,
They come in and try to change the script. You know, to
even in
say
Muslim
no. If they're saying like they do with Christianity, to say it's a sin to be gay, you know,
Yes.
that's
So let
wrong.
me ask this
yeah.
question: what percentage of Muslim women are dissatisfied with the power that the religion has over them, and
Okay,
they think the religion should
I
lighten
can't
up?
give
What
you,
percentage of Muslim women?
okay, I can't give you a percentage,
Oh,
but
get close.
I can tell you this, that from what I see, the Western Muslim woman is dissatisfied. She will question everything that the religion has. Like why this? Why that? Why this, that, and the other? But
Right.
when you go to a traditional Muslim society, women are content. Women are pretty much not trying to leave there in drones.
So, are you sure
The
they're
only-
content, or are
yeah,
they
the
trapped?
only ones that want to leave there in drones are those who bought into the liberalism sauce. Like, for
Right.
example, I'll give you one example. There was this one Saudi woman, okay? There was this one Saudi woman. She did not like the fact of the modesty. She herself didn't like it. So she took it upon herself to come to the United States and become an OnlyFans model. That's what she wanted. But the majority of them don't want that.
Right.
Okay? They're content. The
Good.
majority. Yeah.
So the Western women that talk crazy, set them aside. I'm asking you, where women, we know that there are countries in Africa and Muslim countries, Muslim religion, where these women, they feel free, they act like they're free, but we know that there's restraints on them. My point is not, forget the Western idiots. What percentage of Muslims that are adhering to the laws of Muslim want them to be relaxed? What percentage of Muslim women?
I'm going to be honest with you. I'll have to do research. I'll have to like really do research about that. Yeah, so I'll have to do research. I can't
Because
even.
my guess would be it's 50%.
Okay.
I say 50% of Muslim women want things to be a little more relaxed. Even where the staunch Muslim and the staunch conservative Muslims are practicing and are. I'm saying 50% of the women want to be let it up a little bit. But go ahead.
But you see,
I'll
the
have to
laws
do
of
research.
Islam itself, right? So, like Arcadia here said, I'm a woman in the West. The women are used as a battering ram against the culture, which is true. So, because think about it, like, you know, like this religion or whoever you're trying to join, they have principles and laws they go by. So that cuts you out. Like if you want to, you know, join a basketball team, you know, it's if you're 5 foot tall, you know they're not looking for you, right?
Right.
But now you show up, you're 5 foot, you know, and you're like, oh man, you know, you guys gotta, you know, put me in, change the laws, you know, you guys are looking for 6'3" and you know above, right? But no, because I'm not 6'3", now all of a sudden I want them to change the whole dynamic to fit me in. You know, for example, you see for men, right? When a guy is fat, short, no money, they accept it. You know, like you can call them, they accept that.
Yes.
Okay.
So the point,
so the point is, a woman, like for example, it's like a woman could say they are fat, but you cannot say they are fat.
Right.
So the delusion, you have to go along with it. So they are bringing that same delusion, saying, "Hey, we know this is how it is, but now you gotta do it our way."
That's why if you want to keep them out, if you want to keep the idiots out, you better straighten up what's in.
No, but that's what I'm saying. The problem is that we made a mistake within, is we just tried, like a lot of us, and that's what made me like even have, unfortunately, you know, made me have Muslim enemies. It's because I didn't want to let up. I didn't want to take my foot off the gas in terms of like what was already established. Okay, I'll give you another example that's happening. You know, unfortunately, you even have groups like the one you see that you saw where Afrodamus played, who say they're trying to like there needs to be a reinterpretation of the Quran for modern times when the message is timeless. Those are the same ones that are going to teach that there's 160 genders, which is going on right now, unfortunately.
That's what I'm saying, fellas. I'm telling you, I've seen it before my very eyes.
Hold on, let me read this. Let me read this.
Yeah,
Mali, why are you being a hater? He said Afrodamus will definitely not be accepted in the basketball team. Mali, for your information, I can dunk on a 9-foot rim. Okay, just so you know. All right, take that to the bank.
I'll say this. If the Muslims, like you say, you wanted to keep your foot on the gas, and you were very conservative, old school. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah,
Okay.
very old school. Like
Okay.
Yeah, very old.
Buddy, I'm going to tell you what. If you don't let up on that, you're lost. You're going to lose. You're going to lose. They're going to trample you. You're going to be eaten alive you're going to be thrown in a meat grinder because nobody's having the old stuff anymore. Number one. So you gotta take what you got left.
No,
and with that, if you take what you got left, you might be able to fight off the idiots trying to get in and change it completely. But you're going to have to change a little.
Hold on, guys. Let's bring in Al. Al, are you there?
Yes, I'm here. Yes, good evening. I mean, be brave and base Julia. Great conversation. I really like how you both, interacting. Afrodamus, howdy, buddy.
Buddy, fine. How you do?
Yeah, me man. The manage. Small,
How the fast?
Hey, the fast one kill me. Oh.
You cut her?
Yeah, I don't cut her. Yes,
okay.
yes.
So, what do you want to add on to this?
Yes, I mean, it's very complicated topic here, man. I mean, I think what we should do, us West African, we should continue doing what we normally do, because we managed to actually have a very good type of Islam that obviously, we had the direct message anyway.
Yeah, but Al, this year, in America, you've seen the debate.
Yes.
Natalie said, no, it's not a sin to be a homosexual and act on homosexuality as a Muslim, and she tried to twist what the scriptures say. What do you think about that?
I think
you are in the UK. Do you see Muslims like that, liberal Muslims?
No, we don't have that. In fact, the reality is Christian and the real Christians and the real Muslim got similar beliefs in terms of homosexuality. We don't agree with it, absolutely not, and we feel we know if someone is like that inclined, they need help, right? So. As Be Brave was saying, these people are actually been pushed to actually, as a face of new Islam. We know that. And the UK, I mean, sadly, a lot of Christians in the UK, in fact, are totally against homosexuals getting married in church, and stuff like that, because they don't feel like that's been part of real Christianity. But then you got the liberals that are actually pushing that agenda on people's faces. It's actually dividing the society, even within the Christian religion, not alone us as Muslims. We can see that from miles away. We can see it's a government agenda that's been pushed into our throat, basically, and that's really bad because that's mixing religion and politics.
But now they, if you look at it now, because they're using the same woke agenda, homosexuality, skin color, to bring it to Islam.
That's right.
The pan blackity black, thing.
Yes, I mean, this is what BLM movement was all about, Afrodamus. They came up pretending to be helping black people, right? And I did warn a lot of my friends, stay away from this organization. They do not care about black people. They're laughing at you.
But Black Lives Matter, they support Islam too.
I doubt it.
No, they openly they would say, but I look at the laws
Yeah.
of Islam, the principles is totally against what they stand for.
Thank you. Thank you
So
very
to me
much.
is, but even Christianity, they came, they said, be brave. Remember when they used to, they would, on the news, they would say such and such, came out of the closet. Remember, it was such a big deal.
Oh yeah.
They said we just want
Yeah.
to be able to love people out in the open.
Slowly
Yeah.
but surely, they're pushing it. They're pushing it. Now
The
it's not even,
slippery slope.
that's right. No, now it's not even about homosexuality anymore. Now it's about queer, and I mean, it's nasty stuff, man. We don't want that. Yeah, I mean, God
It's
forbid.
insanity. It's about insanity.
Yeah.
But you got to remember one thing, and I'm telling you, you guys got to keep this in your noggin.
Okay.
We know the governments and we know the organizations, but you got to look at the corporate machine that's pushing this. That's what you're up against. I'm not just saying that lightly. You got a world governing body that wants this. This isn't kid stuff.
Yeah.
So
I
when
know,
you,
and that's the problem.
yes,
Is
and
it-
so
is
when you
it-
think you can grab onto what used to be, I don't blame you for that. But
Yeah,
I'm telling you,
trying
you
my
better
best,
let loose of the stuff that you can let loose of, so that you can stay at least a resemblance of what you used to be.
Yeah, because like when you look at what used to be, it kind of like made sense. You know what I mean? The society was just like, society was just more balanced when it was like what used to be. But now, because you said that corporate machine and things like that, the society is like really pretty much upside down now.
So yes, but sir, when you say what used to be was balanced, see, that's where you're wrong. That's my point.
Okay.
You didn't have a good balance of your behavior towards women. They're humans. So I'm saying that's what left you open. You got to understand what I'm saying here. That left you open, and that's what's leaving you open. Now you can try to put that woman back in the box, and you can do that all you want. But what I'm saying is this: your societies were not you're conducive to. Your societies basically look more like enslavement of women than they did freedom of women. I don't care what the rules were or what the little cute customs were. It looked like the enslavement of women. So what I'm saying is these people are going to take that old society and they're going to use that as something that needs change. What you should do is adjust, get into a more modern, kinder, gentle teaching of women, so that the women don't want to agree with the idiots coming in.
Yes, I will agree with that. And also, I mean, I'll give you an example. One of the one of the main sheikh in Saudi Arabia, one of the king's brother, was caught. This is the hypocrisy about Islam also. I mean, that's coming from Saudi Arabia. In fact, let's start, right? The royal family in Saudi Arabia, we all know they was actually put there by the British to start with, right? They're the one that actually managed to work with the British and kill the last bloodline of the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, who was preaching, who was in favor of certain version of Islam that we still practice in West Africa before they brought the Salafism, right, or the extreme version. This current royal family in Saudi Arabia, they actually brought the extreme version of Islam, after, there was promised by the British, after Israel was taken away from the Palestinian, and also the British promised this royal family. Now, if we obviously get rid of the last bloodline of the Prophet, then we can install you so we can get all the oil out. So you can see the hypocrisy from day one. I mean, a few years ago, one of the brother came to London at Harrods in the lift, right? He was on public BBC News in the UK. He was caught with his boyfriend, right? Beating up his boyfriend. His boyfriend was a black guy, right?
Of course.
Right?
Hold on. What country was he from?
The black guy was from Sudan, I think, or something like that.
A Sudanese. They got a Sudanese, huh?
You guys, did it ever? I don't know if it was mentioned or not. Did it ever? Was it commonly mentioned, because it's a fact that the British brought in the extremist Muslim for control of all Muslims? Is that acknowledged, or do people understand that they were Jews like that?
Do you know what? People do not understand that fact up to now. That's the reason why when I was young. Sorry,
he was beating up the.
Bitch didn't do what he said.
But look, I'm not laughing. It's just the way Al said it. It's like he was beating
I
up the.
know.
I'm like, what?
That's the hypocrisy of it, yeah. And oh Lord. So
Well,
yeah,
well,
it's quite disturbing. But that's the reason why I believe this might sound really absurd or whatever. I believe West Africans, we are the only people that practice true Islam until this Salafism came in, and that's when everything started going upside down. And things we need to really go back to the Islam that our ancestors did to follow.
Well,
You know, because this one, yeah,
this is a you're dealing with a different machine in the
I
Western world.
know. I know.
well,
So
Not a pretty one.
and I know you were saying to be brave. I know you were saying about like we need to let up though. But the problem is we let up too much, especially in the West, and this is why you see what you see happening. Because these Muslim Western leaders in the West, when they said, "Okay, we need to do this," "Okay, we need to do that," now you have a situation where you can go into a mosque and you there's LGBT mosque, there's transgender mosque here, and there, and unfortunately it's become normalized. So again, I get what you're saying, but you know, once we do like continue to give leeway, it just infiltrates the whole thing.
Oh,
That's the issue.
I understand that fully, but I'm saying you don't get out of the little bit of let up that you need. You're going to have to let up and risk what you're speaking of. I understand totally what you're saying, sir. The Muslims need to kick down a door. Right on the other side of that door is a cliff that you're going to go over hell into. I get that. So the point is you got to kick that door down and you got to stop immediately so you don't go over. That's a trick. I'm not denying that. But I'm saying you better kick the door down, do the trick, and quit worrying in the name of going too far. You better quit worrying about not improving and going far enough. Because there's a fine line, and you said it very well. If you go, if you change, there's danger, and that's the fact of it. And I'm saying if you don't change, I know for a fact you're over.
all right,
You
let's
better
bring
change
in
it a little bit.
let's allow Andre in. Andre, are you there?
Andre's dancing, I think.
Andre, are you there?
Yes, Afrodamus, I'm here. Yeah.
Andre, long
Th-
time no see.
Thank you for having me in the show. I think this topic is very interesting because it's like you're seeing the modernization of Islam in what actually it brings. You know, the degeneracy you see with the liberals, what they do.
So
And
Andre, your point is, you know, so the liberals that you're seeing, they're pretending they just want to come in, turn it upside down, right?
yeah, it's like they're giving us a bad image, you know, in when it comes to media. Like that woman you heard, she can woman like you know, the woman,
The
you know, the
queer
woman,
one.
yeah, the queer one. She's like giving us bad image. I feel like we need to watch out for that because like we're gonna have that when we have Muslim countries. They modernize. They build the you know the economy is gay. They get richer. They just modernize, and you have people that bring degeneracy, like her. You know, that she agrees with like different pronouns. I feel like we can't have that. We have to. Our mind have to be straight. You know, we keep the good things that we have. If we bring these kind of things, it's gonna ruin the youth. You know, it's just gonna confusing because people in the West, it already happened, but we can't spoke out. When people speaking out of the community, if you talk about them, you're like a Nazi because you're speaking about them.
Yeah, but Andre, they said, like you heard the woman saying, "Oh, it's not a sin to act upon homosexuality, even though Islam said it's a sin." And then the guy in the video, he said he's Muslim, but he supports "quote unquote" gay rights. Like
You know,
Islam doesn't.
Fidamo,
What do you
these
think
people
about that?
don't follow Islam. They don't follow true Islam. They follow feminism. They follow the gay community, the gay mob. That's what
Yeah,
they follow. The
yeah.
true Islam doesn't agree with this because
At all. Doesn't
well,
tolerate it.
well,
We don't
that's
want
another
anything to do with
issue,
it.
though. Well, that's another issue in itself, and that's why brothers like myself have already like decided that we'll pay our dowries overseas to our wives overseas because they have imported this militant feminism. I hate to say, but it's militant. It's a militant feminism now. The average
Yes,
Muslim,
yes, you're right. The militant feminism is actually very
the
powerful than
average
anything else, I reckon. You're right there.
the average Western Muslim woman is as masculine as a man now. Don't let the covering
They're more
fool you.
masculine, bruv. Come on, man.
Don't let the covering fool you. Don't let the covering fool you now. And now dudes who want to hold on to their Islam are walking away. Okay, they're walking away, and now the Muslim women are seeing the effect, and they're still blaming us for it. But we gave them everything. That's the thing. We let them do it. That's the thing. We let them do it.
For me, is ever so
We let them
important.
do it.
It's ever so important in this generation to be a good Muslim or to be a Christian, to have a belief. Yes.
Let me ask you. You're Pan-African, right?
Yes. Yes, I am Pan-African.
So, what do you think about your Pan-African brother, Julius Malema? He came out to stand for the LGBTQ,
when I saw that,
and he went against Uganda. What do you think about that? Like Julius Malema, you guys is number one Pan-African. He's supposed to. He said he's against the white man, but it looks like he's working for another side of the white organization. Like what? Al, how can we trust you Pan-Africans from every single one? First, we have Tariq Nasheed. One of your guys is Pan-African. Then he became FBA, right? Now you have Julius Malema in South Africa. Everyone is like, Julius Malema is the man. But now he's going against Uganda.
And Alpha Conde, before he became president, he was one of the biggest Pan-African we ever knew. And then he ended it's a very good question, Afrodemo. Sometimes, I wonder if people are using Pan-Africanism to get to their points. But really,
did you see Julius Malema wrapped himself in the rainbow flag?
Yeah, that was shocking, bro. That was shocking.
I don't even know who he is, and that sounds sick.
I think that. I mean,
Christopher Ken said it here before too, and he's repeating. He said, "I told you, Julius Malema is the Omar Johnson of South Africa."
What's going on, brother? Let's leave Julius Malema alone. Julius Malema.
He ended his career. He's ended his career with that flag. He ended his career with that flag. 100%.
Julius Malema is a high IQ African, bro. What's going on here? You low IQ African.
Tell us about how high his IQ is.
This is what I'm talking about. The IQ. Do you know, Al? Which country are you from, brother?
Me, I'm from Sierra Leone, bro.
Sierra Leone, okay.
Yeah. You? Where about?
What country are you from, Andre?
No, where you from?
Kaizo, tell us why.
I'll tell you.
Tell us why.
I got a cook, bro. I got a crook. I'm taking it from a book from your page. I got to cook this niggas. Andre,
no. Tell us.
Wait. Let me answer this question. I'm from Sweden. What's up?
You're Somali, okay? You're from a failed state. This brother here is from Sierra Leone, another failed state, yeah? So you guys are talking about
where you from? Where you from?
Hold on, Kaizo.
I'm a black Brit, bro.
Hold on,
I'm superior to you.
Kaizo. What's their country of origin have to do with the truth, though?
Okay, good question.
What's that have to do with the truth? They're not attacking South Africa. Okay. They are speaking about Julius Malema as an individual. What does that have to do with, the country they're from? Or IQ? Like, what's that have to do with that?
I'll tell you. If you look at the countries with the highest GDP per capita in Africa, it's the countries, right? In the world, sorry. It's the countries that don't go around having very medieval and civilized laws. South Africa is a civilized country with civilized superior Bantu people. But these West Africans and these Somalis.
So let me ask you. So you think that, right? What would you consider to be medieval and backwards laws?
Good. So imagine this, right? Uganda just passed a law. If you're caught for aggravated, fruity stuff, you're gonna get death sentence. If you're just caught by someone claiming you are a fruity person, you get 10 years. Are they not realizing that this is going to be a power play whereby people are just accused left, right, and center? As I've been accused by these dusty Africans of being a criminal. It's a power game. So the
Well,
issue here,
that hasn't happened yet, so that doesn't make it.
but it will. We know this, Afridamus, right?
No,
we know
but-
how Africans
But
play this.
but how is that?
Afrodemus, can I just interject
be
this
hype.
guy? So where did you say you're from? You said you're Black British.
And
I'm a black
Kaizo,
Brit. I'm a
Kaizo,
superior
aren't you
black
from
man.
Kenya?
Sorry, what was that? What
I'm a
was that again?
superior black man from the UK.
Superior
Yes,
black
yes.
man. There's no such thing as Black British, bro. How long you been living in the UK for?
Doesn't matter. I'm a
No,
black Brit, bro.
how long you been living in
It
the
doesn't
UK
matter.
for you to be a Black British all of a sudden?
Doesn't matter. I'm a black Brit, bro.
And there's no African Black British. The Black British that you can call, the only people that can claim to be Black British are the Black from the Caribbean and
I'm
Sierra
not gonna
Leoneans
listen
that
to a
been
low
here.
IQ Sierra Leonean that had
Yeah.
a civil war,
And
right?
also
On a
you come from
definition, bro.
you claim to be South African and you don't own South Africa.
I'm not South
the white
African.
man come.
Never claimed that. Never
So
claimed
where you
that.
from? You're
All I-
actually you claim to have a high IQ, but you're not.
Of course I have higher
actually
IQ
proud
than
of-
you, bro.
you're
My
not
IQ is
proud-
143.
You're not proud of your country of origin.
Bro,
What kind of
I'm
IQ do
literally
you
a
have?
genius. My IQ is
No, no, no.
143.
Yeah,
What
but Kaizo, let me jump in here,
I
right?
think you're smoking crack.
Kaizo, you're saying IQ,
Crackhead.
right? But can you prove in this conversation here, right? Show us how high your IQ is. So far, you haven't proven that.
Okay, let me prove it. Let me prove it.
You haven't,
Let me
you
prove
haven't,
it.
you haven't, explained anything. You're attacking
Okay,
literally
let me
this
explain it. Let
people's
me explain
country.
it.
You're
Let
talking
me
about
explain
civil war, like civil wars. America even had civil war back in the days. Every country did.
had. When
Yes,
it's low
Sierra,
IQ, had.
Sierra Leone also
Had.
had. Sierra Leone also had. So that doesn't prove
Sierra Leone
anything.
right now? Sierra
Sierra
Leone
Leone doesn't have. They don't have civil war, sir.
What's the GDP? Let's go. GDP per capita. Sierra Leone.
Kaizo, it's not about the GDP. It's about the truth here. Let's focus on the truth.
He's from
Like-
India. He's from Kenya.
$650.
And Indians,
Average Sierra
Indians,
Leonean. Hang on,
Indians
what-
own
Hold
the
on,
country,
hold on.
bro.
But Kaizo,
You for
don't
the
derail,
Indians,
don't
they
derail
claim
it. Let's put it this way, right? Don't derail the topic. You brought in, okay, fine. Sierra Leone, it's $6 whatsoever.
$600 a
All
year.
right, all
That's
right,
how
all
much I
right,
make
all right, all
in
right,
half a
fine.
month.
Okay,
I make
$600. Okay, fine. Let's say that's what it is, right? What does that have to do with the truth, though? Because Kenya did pass the same laws, right?
Yeah, Kenya's low IQ country as well. That's what I'm trying to
Oh,
say. Right?
okay. So,
These Africans-
okay,
No,
Saudi
you were
Arabia,
Wait,
Russia.
Afrodamus, can I ask him
Crackhead.
one question? I'm
Go
sorry.
ahead. Go ahead.
Okay, I don't know what the fuck has like his country.
Oh,
what
control
is
the
going on
X,
has
the
to do
X.
with him. You know, it has nothing to do with him. It has nothing to do with the topic. We're talking about degeneracy that are coming for all societies, and we're trying to have a stand on it.
I'll tell you why, right? You Africans would rather focus on some niggas doing what they're doing with each other instead of focusing on actually contributes to your well-being, your education, your civil systems, your legal system, and your hospitals, right? That's the issue. You guys are just so low IQ focusing
So
on
wait,
what niggas do in their own bedroom.
wait. So Kaizo, you are saying that you believe we are low IQ. We should focus on the things that
Economic.
you think. Because, so let me ask you, Kaizo, how much money do you make? Because
Me,
let's
I make at least $3,000 a month.
Oh, you make
$3,000
you make $3,000 a month, right?
easily. Right.
Okay, and you're making that because it proves that wait. So you think
can literally
hold on. So making
guys-
3,000
go ahead.
wait 3,000 that proves to you that that's high IQ, right?
that's high IQ. This is
Okay, if somebody that makes 5 times what you make, does that mean their IQ is way higher than yours?
no, but it makes
Well
that
then.
It's what?
It allows them to be on the table to have a conversation with me.
You came
I mean,
here
I'm-
crossing-
Wait. They make, hold on, Kauzo, they make 5 times the amount you could make because you said it's about IQ.
Right.
Why would they? Because their IQ is way higher than you. Why would they come and sit at the table with you? Because you are inferior to them.
Now it depends. If they're in Kenya making that money as me, I respect them. But if they're in
So Kaizo, so your IQ, you're like a woke person, like the gays, because I shouldn't put it on the queer people.
Afrodemos, these are the same
Because you're using okay, you're using queer logic. So you walked in, right? you want to decide that your IQ is high. We allow you. You gave the standard. You say you make 3,000. You talked about Sierra Leone 600 a year. I guarantee you, Al makes more than that. You know, he doesn't live there. So
in the
he
UK,
doesn't.
right?
Oh, okay, so now you said 3,000. That means you have high IQ. Now I say, okay, what if somebody that make 5 times that you can make? Now you start shifting the goalpost. So what you're saying, doesn't prove you have high IQ. You just don't know what you're talking about.
Afrodamus, can I tell you something?
One second.
Okay, sorry.
1 second, right? When you talk about IQ, right? You see this word IQ, we got to be careful with it. I mean, maybe Be Brave will actually agree with me on that, right? This IQ thing was invented by white supremacists, right?
Yeah, white supremacists are correct.
No, I don't want us to derail. Kaizo has not proven. He came here with 3,000. Maybe he thinks he's making a lot of money to him. That is not Kaizo.
You're right.
Kaizo, your 3,000 is nothing. You're not making anything.
Money.
In Africa,
you're making peanuts. You might maybe you can go back to
the UK. I was making 10,000, right?
And you left 10,000 to go for 3,000
to save my people, to save them from the low.
Okay. Well, okay. You know what? We believe you. We accept that, but that doesn't. This conversation here,
right?
It proves that clearly. Us here, we are the ones with the high IQ because we are free to be able to.
Let me ask Afrodamus. Let me ask him a question.
Give me 3 minutes.
You just came in crashing like a bird.
Hold on.
Give me 3 minutes, please.
No, 3 minutes is too much.
Okay, 1.5 minutes, right? 1.5 minutes. Look, listen. I'm the only African in Africa right now. Al is probably in the UK. Afrodamus is in America. Be Brave is in America. Everybody else here is in the West.
But the Indian own your country.
Queen. Hang on, brother.
Hold on. Let him finish talking. Hold on. Let him talk. Let him talk.
All right.
Yeah, relax, brother. I'm actually in Africa. The rest of you ninjas are in America or the European countries. Guess why? That makes me the only real person here. You guys out here suckling.
That's not true. That's not true, Kaizo.
10 seconds.
Kaizo, hold on. Let me cut you off right away. That's not correct. That's not right. Because first of all, even though I'm in America here, right? I employ people back in Gambia. I have assets. I employ people. So I'm not only here, I'm also there contributing to the economy. I'm employing people there. Are you employing people in Kenya?
Of course I do. I go out.
He's working for the Indians.
Okay, so you guys, we get it. Hold on. We understand. If you want to come and talk about the 3,000 you make, we're more than happy to hear you out. But to say because you made 3,000, now all of a sudden you have high IQ, you're lying to yourself. Literally, literally, I can assure you, what I'm sitting here, what I'm generating back there is more
You're in
than
America.
no, I'm talking in Africa. What is being generated there is more than your 3,000.
Leveraging the American dollars to create business and revenue for the African businesses. I'm in Africa. I've got no attachments to the Queen.
So what's your point? My
point is simple. All of you guys out here living in America or Europe, which have homosexual rights laws and going around there leveraging the money and economic system and talking shit about countries like in Africa. All I say this, right? Africa needs to stop being low IQ. Let's focus.
So Kaizo, do you think? Wait, Kaizo, do you think is high IQ a high IQ person, right? Would be making 10,000, like you said, 10,000 pounds in the UK and leave it and go to Kenya to make $3,000
investment, man. After 5 years or so, I'll be making a lot more than that.
Even though you're sitting there, guys, watch this, right? So you left $10,000 job to go make 3,000. You could be making your 10,000. You save it. and create your business in
It's
Kenya.
not the same thing, right? I want to integrate myself into politics and economy and actually help
Okay,
these stuff.
well, that it still doesn't mean you have high IQ, my friend. I don't think you're telling
I don't
us
think
the
you know
truth.
what it means,
I
Alfredo.
don't think you're telling us the truth, because mostly the people that I see live in the West, you know, to go take less job in Africa, they
but I'm
are
not taking a
forced
job
out.
in
They
Africa.
didn't do it. They
I'm
didn't do it.
self-employed, Afridamus. I'm
Huh?
not employed by anyone, right? I got my own businesses. That's where the money's coming in. Revenue is $20,000 a month. I obviously got to pay the Africans, and I pay them well. That's why it's less. I could be making 7,000, but I'd rather pay the Africans a number that is, you know, good. That's a reason. So Afridamus, I'm self-employed. I'm not paid by the white man, right? I got a company. You know my company. I can literally send you my my pages, my
Okay,
tax returns.
all right. We get that, right? But all right, fine. You got companies. You have all this. But what does this have to do with our topic here?
I need to get going, Africanus. I'd like to respond to
about Africa.
Okay, hold on. Let's allow the white man to respond. Go ahead, be great.
The only superior person close to my IQ here is the white man.
Can you
The
be
rest of
quiet
you
and let someone else?
All right. Let the white man talk, Kaiser. Then go ahead.
Okay, this fella doesn't respect the fact that Islam doesn't want to let filth in and let it loose. So the point is this: if he doesn't respect that, he should set himself aside and go join their church. Now, here's the other thing. I got to go, but fellas, panelists, you've been forced onto a slippery slope. You're not getting around that. Get on that slippery slope, and you're going to have to just be very careful and fight for everything you got, because once this machine puts you on that slippery slope, you're going to have this guy with the 1,000 IQ throwing you guys under the bus further. So you've got him over here, and you've got stupid gays over here that want to destroy what little bit of religion and spirituality that you want to hang on to. And I'm saying that machine's going to that machine is going to assist the high IQ goofball. That's what you're up against.
Exactly.
He's more dangerous than the gays. So get on the slippery slope you have to, but I'm with you. Hang on for dear life and watch every slip you make. But I got to go after Thomas.
Thank you. All right, thank you very much. Now let's bring in Judah's supremacy. Judah, welcome to the Afridamus report. Judah, are you there?
Oh yes, Afridamus, can you hear me?
Yes, loud and clear. Judah, what do you want to add on to this topic here?
Oh man, look, is this the topic you guys talking about, IQ or?
No. Kaiser, try to derail our topic with the IQ. We don't want to talk about that. Forget
Judah,
that.
you better not be low IQ, brother. You know how Africa is.
Hold on, Kaiser. Can we do the IQ thing another day? Like, because this is derailing the actual topic, but we can do the IQ another day.
I think the only low IQ person on this panel is Al from Sierra Leone, who want to speak like the white man, and that's a fact. Afridamus, give me a heads up about what is going on.
All right, so you didn't see the Jubilee video, the debate, liberal Muslims versus conservative. This one side is like the liberal part. They're trying to claim that being gay in Islam, it's not a sin, but Islam said it's sin. So that's what we're debating about here.
Oh, okay.
And how they want things to change to fit their narrative.
Right, man. My stand on this gay thing is just, I slept overnight and was just thinking about how human beings should be able to live their life, right? Like, individual. When you come into this world, a grown man, you have the right to enjoy whatever services any other person is enjoying,
Exactly.
right?
High IQ Judah. These dusty low IQs. Go ahead, brother.
Let me finish. A few days ago, I watched Julius Malema. He made a statement.
Right.
He went on the street and was talking about how Uganda should change the law system about and I kind of condone with what he said, because you are not just gonna yeah, he is gay. So what is he? Is he causing problem on your own family? No. Is he doing what he is doing? Is it hampering your own future? No. So allow this person to be the way he is and enjoy his life. I mean, he has nothing to do with it.
They are not stopping.
Aphrodemus,
They're not
Aphrodemus,
stopping, and they just say,
Aphrodemus, can I
keep it
please
to yourself. Do not go ahead. Al.
can I please interject?
No,
Thank you very much.
Al is not
Well,
gonna talk.
well, actually,
Al, I just got on this panel and you guys
Hold
have
on.
been talking for so long. Let me finish my statement and you're gonna talk.
after you,
Respect me,
thank
man.
you. No problem.
Res-
No problem. No
okay.
problem.
All right. What I was saying is, I think it's high time for Africa to respect people and respect other people's culture, because there are certain things that Africans us we do that other people do not do, and there are other things that we do that other people do not do. Now, when it comes to individuality, everyone has their right to live the way they want to live. Now, if you have a law in that country that says do not do this, do not do that, that's fine. But if
So
this individual, right, go ahead.
Judah, if so, to practice polygamy, right?
Right.
Who are you hurting?
You're not hurting anybody if you practice
Then why is it
polygamy.
why is it a felony in America and
It's a felony in America, but people still practice it. Do they go to
No.
jail? No, they don't, because I've seen a lot of people.
Judah. No. You asked the question, you jumped and answered it. Yes,
I'll
if
answer
you
it.
practice,
That's what I'm
if you
saying,
no, Judah,
Do
if you
people go to
practice,
jail for practicing polygamy in
yes,
America? No, they don't,
yes.
because I've seen a lot of guys
No,
that have
no, Judah,
No,
Judah,
Uncle
Judah,
Abdullah, it's not polygamy that's illegal.
Judah.
It's bigamy.
Hold
Being
on,
legally married.
Kaizo, let me finish. Polygamy is a felony, okay? It's a felony. So if you get caught doing that, you are going to jail. It is a felony, sir.
But do people still do it in America? Yes, they do.
Again, they're not gonna come out in the open and say, hold on. What I'm saying, but my point is, wait, Judah. The point is, in these African countries, polygamy is legal. In this country, it is illegal, and the people who have a culture of this, they respect it. They're not. You don't see them here trying to force. Wait. They're not. You don't. Did you ever see movements of Africans or other people saying, "Oh, polygamy is a human right, and it must be a law in this country"? Have you ever seen that?
No. But what people
So
fail to understand.
why can't Uganda? Why don't Uganda have the right? With the majority of their people to pass a law that fits them.
Let me finish. People have come to realize that what are you? Who's saying hurry up?
No. Forget it. Just keep going. Forget.
Oh man, you're gonna get kicked out from this channel, young man. Let me say that.
Go ahead.
For my brother's channel.
What happened to Judah? Judah kicked himself out by saying that to her. I swear, it's crazy. Judah literally kicked him. Judah's network took him out the moment he told Al he was gonna kick him out.
He don't understand how special we are as human beings.
Okay, Al, what were you gonna say?
Yes, this is very important. While you know what, the last time we had a statistic and you actually exposed me, I was tiny bit wrong by percentage, yeah. Right. And obviously, we did not bring the account that we have two Cameroon, French and English, but I did accept it. But however, this bomb boy, Bantu bomb boy, just came up claiming that they have the highest IQ. But if you look at the statistic now, show the entire panel in the entire African continent, which country have the highest IQ is actually Sierra Leone and Eritrea next. Can you send them back, please? Just show them. At least they can actually feel better about it.
Wait, Alfredamus, I can verify that. That's true.
Yeah,
in sub-Saharan Africa.
Sierra Leone and Eritrea.
Yeah, in sub-Saharan Africa. Say sub-Saharan Africa,
bro. That is not true.
Guys, it is true. It is true.
It's been like that for a long time, actually, but I did not want to interject it.
Listen, brother, that's not IQ. That's a white man's test. It's not the same thing as IQ.
Look,
IQ is
look, guys, I get it, guys. Let's not derail. Okay.
Yeah, let's stay in the topic. I want to ask Kaizo a question, Alfredamus.
Let's talk about the hijab.
Alfredamus, I want to ask Kaizo a question. Kaizo, why do you think we should support this? I know in certain countries, like in Scandinavia, you get arrested if you say there are more than two genders. I mean, if you say there are only two genders, you get arrested. Why do you think we should support this, Kaizo? Can you answer that question?
Yeah, good
Simple,
question.
because this is where the human development goes to. You Africans are backwards with your culture, right? Anti-homosexuality is actually a Western thing brought in by Christianity and Islam, right? In my culture, the Wanga
No, no,
kingdom
no,
and the
no,
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 Buganda
no,
no.
no.
kingdom,
Kaizo,
our
Kaizo,
king,
Kaizo,
one
Kaizo,
Wait.
Kaizo. Hold
We
on, hold on.
Africans.
Kaizo,
our king was a
Kaizo, Kaizo.
homosexual.
Hold on,
Both
hold on,
brothers,
hold on,
actually.
hold on. Kaizo, Kaizo. You okay? You're not even answering the man's question. You came. You said it's barbaric. The law is uncivilized. He just told you. If you say there is only two genders, which is
Which
true.
country? Which that's a lie. It's
In,
Scandinavia.
yo,
Okay,
let me tell you,
that is
Kaizo,
true.
let me
Kaizo,
tell
this
you,
is
Kaizo.
true. Even here
You
in
get
America,
exactly.
did you not see the Supreme Court judge
Yes.
will dare not even have to pretend that she doesn't know what a woman is because she
No, that's
didn't.
separate, Afrodamas. You do not
Okay,
hear what I'm saying.
okay. So,
He's saying the opposite
wait,
of what he's
So,
saying.
what you are saying, right? Okay, you can have your opinion, but you're not answering the question because you're saying you Africans, you are an African, and he is asking you a direct question. You cannot answer it, but you want to attack every African. Just answer the question without trying to personalize it and attack Africans, because if you do, then people would, point fingers right back at you. You see what I'm saying? So just answer his question. The law, you cannot even say it's only two genders without getting in trouble. Do you think that's a just law, that's civilized law, to
I want to
speak the
correct that.
truth?
He said the opposite of you, Afrodamas. That's what I'm
No,
saying.
no, no.
He's
If
lying.
you say there are only two genders in Scandinavia, you get arrested, you get fined, and if you
Okay,
even
that's what
say
he
that
said.
in a job, you get fired. Kaizo, this is facts.
That's the kind of Scandinavian. I didn't say I want these people to get the same rights they have in Europe. I just don't think you should put them in death sentence or 10 years for simply claiming that certain thing. You see
Listen,
what I
yeah,
mean?
I
You
know,
guys are creating
listen,
a false
we
dichotomy
know
of
you're
it.
quiet, we know you're quiet, yeah, keep it to yourself. Don't come here and start promoting
Yeah,
that.
but Kaizo, why do you think we should support them and glorify these people?
Yeah,
No,
Kaizo,
we don't
that's
need
what
to
he's
support them.
asking.
We should not support them. They're evil. You understand me?
So, Havila, what do you think about Julius Malema supporting this, going
He's a
against
sellout.
Uganda?
He's a sellout. He gained money from the LGBT, and now he wants to force the agenda to us Africans. But we Africans, if you look at history, we are not gays. You understand me? We were always
But
heterosexual.
Kaizo just said we were gay.
No,
Oh yeah, if you look at the king of the Buganda kingdom, Michael,
No,
If you
Kaizo,
look
speak
at
for your
Africans,
people. We're not gays,
One
Kaizo.
second,
Come on.
Africans
Kaizo, please, Kaizo, speak for your people.
one
We're
guy
not
we do not get
gays.
down like that.
and that guy was just like me. He was part Oromo, part Bantu. He was a gay.
No,
we
bro,
are
no,
gays.
bro. Africa, we're
No,
not
no,
gay,
no,
bro.
no. It's
they
not
should
African
Listen,
thing, Kaizo. It's not.
I tell you, the first gay people started in Greece, ancient Greece. You understand me? We Africans, we were never in gay race. We were always heterosexual. We always had like
But
10
he's right
wives,
though. He said the
15
Bantu
wives.
people are gay people, so maybe that's true. Just leave it as that, yeah.
You can even find a Greek emperors like showering with men, a bunch of men. This comes from
African,
them.
Greek, African not. It's true.
Yeah.
You're right.
Okay. Okay. Let's bring in Mal also. Mal? Is your mic fixed now?
Yeah, everything is all right now.
All right, Mal, welcome. Mal, what do you want to add on to this?
I don't have much to add on to this because I think sometimes we do arguments that are not necessary. Because if you look at this critically, these countries are not Muslim countries. Obviously, if you are in United States, you don't expect Muslim laws to be executed here. Okay,
No, but it's not about the law. It's about someone saying they are Muslim and then they come and change the book. What do you think about that?
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to just come into say, because we all know here is not a Muslim country. Some people convert to become Muslim. If they convert to become Muslims and their societies are promoting certain rights, obviously even there are Muslims like 2,000 or millions of Muslims here. As long as here is not a Muslim country, they can do whatever they want to do. You understand? But now is that doesn't mean that it's acceptable in Islam. Move out of control of Islamic nation, then there will be a problem with them because they will face the realities. Like, if they move to West African countries, then they will have a problem because those people don't accept, being gays as long as they are Muslims.
And
So,
Mal,
yeah,
what do you think? Do you think what this guy saying? Uganda's law is uncivilized and barbaric. Do you think it's uncivilized?
No.
To me, even though Uganda, like, I think it's part of African, like, norms not to promote gay. I don't think their laws are barbaric against it, because I'm a Muslim. I will accept, because in Islam they say if you are gay you should be killed, and obviously the law they make is not a problem for me as a Muslim, but maybe for the people there it may be, because if I say it's barbaric, that means I'm trying to get out of the fold of Islam, or I'm trying to make amendment in certain laws of Islam. So obviously, to me, it's not a problem, But for the citizens who are Christians in Uganda, I don't think it's a fair idea. It's a fair deal for them, because obviously the Christian elites, the Christian elite accepted it.
No, the Christians support this law.
So yeah.
Yeah, it's true. Listen,
You
Mal,
guys are really
understand.
serious. But life
Islam-
imprisonment because you did monkey the
Islam
back.
is the only religion
Hey, that's Kaiser. That's their law, sir. Just like you when if you go to Saudi Arabia, the
Exactly.
Sharia law. If you don't want to get your hand chopped off,
Kaizo, it's a sovereign country. You gotta follow the law.
Yeah,
it's a sovereign country. They're independent. They can make their own laws. They don't have to be barbaric. They don't have to be backwards. You understand?
I hope they get sanctioned hardcore, man.
Yeah, but Kaizo, what do you support is African countries getting sanctioned by the West because they don't support gay life. Gay.
Afro-Diamonds, wait. If we Africans allow the LGBT, what will happen? The AIDS rate will go up. You understand me? People will get sick.
So wait, Havila, what do you think about the video I was showing? Those two, the woman that was saying, they should change it. Islam, being, acting on homosexuality is not a sin. So what do you think about, because basically what she's doing is she's normalizing it, and she changed the story of Prophet Lot. Remember?
Yeah, Lut,
So she tried to change it. So doesn't that make one a kafir in Islam if you take these scriptures and flip it to fit your?
Yes, haram. You cannot do that. You cannot change the Quran, because the Quran, it was sent by God, by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So we the humans, we cannot change the law like the Talmud or the Christian. That's why the LGBT has a difficulty coming to Islamic countries, because we do not allow it. Gays, transgender, lesbians, it's forbidden. It's haram.
Just like the true Christians doesn't allow it.
Yeah, but the problem is, I tell you, the Christian, you have two Christians. You have the secular, it's the Catholic, and you have the Orthodox Christian, it's the Russian.
So is everything that's gonna be haram?
No, listen, look, can I talk, bro?
Hold on, Judah. Let him finish.
Listen, the Western Christian, they sold the soul to the devil.
Oh man, come on, man. Come on.
Judah, let him finish. Judah, let him finish.
Listen, bro.
A Muslim fanatic.
Listen.
Go ahead.
Listen.
Can you
If
let
you
him
look
talk,
at,
man?
listen, if you look at the first gay couple, it was in Holland, in Europe. It's in Western European country, and in Roman Christian country. You understand me? The Western, the reason why the Western hate Putin is against LGBT. He doesn't want to bring the LGBT to Russia. You understand me? The LGBT, they are very powerful people, bro. Bill Gates, they are very powerful billion donors. And now they are going to Uganda, and now they will sanction them. Now they will put up,
I've seen a lot of Muslim guys that are gay. What the heck are you talking about? You can be gay is an individuality.
Yeah, we already said that earlier.
It's not a religion.
We already said that earlier.
No, Judah, you missed the video. Yes, Islam,
I missed
Islam,
it,
right?
but I'm on my way
Okay,
to work.
if you act on it, just simply having the fantasy doesn't mean you've sinned. But when you act on it, right, now you've committed sin in Islam. It doesn't mean like okay, the book Islam itself, it's there, it's right there. So whatever you can call yourself a Muslim, right? But you're still human. So your actions, like that's between you and God. Like your actions have nothing to do. So when you come in, so instead of taking it upon yourself, right? first of all, in Islam, right, for you to get beheaded for that action would be very difficult. Just like adultery, it has to take 4 people.
But
Four
this is
people.
a guy
Hold on. Let me finish. It has to take 4 people to witness it. They have to see it. Not only see it, they have to see you dipping the pen in the ink, and they all have to witness you dipping the pen in the ink. So, it's pretty difficult.
But
So
this is
the
the
point
guy
is,
that will
the
come
point
and
is,
lie, right? People
what?
lie, Africans. People lie. And also, I
Look,
want to say, I don't necessarily agree with
look.
what they
Here's
do.
the thing. If you, me personally, like, why would the people who are not this? They don't care. They're not worried about this. They're not
But
worried
this is
about
this is
this
a guy that
lying
will
you're
protect
talking about.
child marriage. This is a guy that will protect Muslims to marry underage girls.
Exactly.
But when it comes to gay marriage, they want to come on, man. These are people. These are
Exactly.
hypocrisy
I
people,
agree
man.
with that.
All
Islam
these
is not
are
allowed.
hypocrisy.
The
They want to
Islam is not
protect
allowed.
one thing.
It's
They want
forbidden.
to protect. They want
It's
to protect
forbidden.
one thing, but go ahead and do another bad thing. Come on,
Well,
bro. I don't condone these people.
Judah,
You
that's
know.
what
Okay,
it's
wait.
whatever
Afrodamus, wait.
the
Can I
law
ask
is.
Judah? Wait, can I ask Judah a question?
Go ahead, man.
Yeah. Okay. What does Mother Nature say?
What you mean, modern nature? People
Mother
make what they
Nature.
want to
No,
assume is
listen,
right for them.
listen. In this
Are you
world,
supposed to marry underage
listen.
children?
Can I talk, bro? Can I talk? In this
Go ahead.
planet, you have the laws of the nature. You understand what I'm talking about?
So the laws of the nature say you should marry underage children.
Judah, you cannot marry underage women in Islam, sir.
You understand me?
Oh, people, Muhammad did. Muhammad married an underage child.
He doesn't listen, man. Listen, Judah, in this planet, in this earth, you have the law of the nature. You understand me? Two gay guys cannot have a child together. You understand me? That's why in Islam it's haram, it's forbidden. God made a man and a woman.
But it's not haram to marry underage child. That's the question that I'm asking. I'm not asking about nature. I'm asking about you marrying an underage child. Is that haram or not?
Judah, Islam does not accept child marriage. They do not. They do not accept child marriage.
But I know a lot of Muslims that are married to underage children, and that's the question.
Well, just because they did it doesn't mean like Islam forbids people drinking alcohol. There are people who drink alcohol and
Why?
they're still
Why is it
Muslims.
not haram? Why they try to
No,
make
it is
another
haram.
sin?
No,
But why they try to make another sin bigger than any other sin?
No. Judah, is this thing, for example, if it's like stealing, it's haram, right? So does that mean people are not gonna steal who call themselves Muslim? They will steal. That does not mean just because they stole.
About these Muslim guys, man.
You want to say that doesn't define Islam? You know, that doesn't define Islam. What people do, that's not Islam.
So why would he say if people are gay, it's Christian religion? It does not define Christian religion. These are individuals.
No, I don't agree with that.
Judah, in Christianity, the scriptures is a sin for the Christians too.
Yeah, of course, it's a sin. So why would he say it's a Christian religion? That's what he said.
But no, again, you see, you can correct him on that, but that doesn't mean
I'm not gonna call it a Muslim fanatics, bro.
No. Wait. Okay, so you are just gonna be totally wrong. You're just gonna say something because you don't want to correct him now. You're going to be way wrong about it.
Man, these guys, man. I'm not gonna come around and kiss. These people have to be taken out. Muslim religion has to be banned in Africa, and Christian religion as well.
You're finally coming out now. This is exactly
no,
what
I'm not coming out, but that's a fact. You want to go ahead and claim Fulani religion and all these things, and you have even forgotten about your traditional religion and
hold on, guys, hold on. Let's not, guys, hold on. Let's not do the Fulani thing. Hold on. Hold on. Let's allow J Mac also to speak. J Mac, are you there? J Mac, are you there? All right. I don't know what happened.
Yo, Afridamus, I just want to say, like, don't let Judah derail the conversation about Pan-African things. Like, don't do that. Don't derail the conversation.
Let's not. let's
Yeah.
not go there. You know, go ahead, Mal.
Yeah, I think Jude, the one thing he didn't understand is the reason why people are saying that this gayism is acceptable in Christianity is because all
No,
these
it's not,
Western
Mal.
countries. Yes,
Mal, it's
no,
not.
no. Let me
See,
finish. Let me learn. I know.
yeah.
Okay, the reason why people are saying that it's not acceptable according to the scriptures of Christianity, but because this nation, Western nation, are Christian nations. Okay, majority of them are Christian. If their leaders are coming out, people who should protect their book are coming out to promote gayism and lesbianism. So obviously we will say, and the church even is accepting it. So we are saying that this is
Hold
why
on.
it's Christianity. Yeah.
Wait, you missed the beginning of the show. What I'm
So your
saying is,
people that are doing all this terrorism attack, are they all? They are all Muslims.
Hold on, Judah. Hold on, Judah.
Don't go
Judah.
there, please.
Guys, hold on. So Mal, that's what I
Yeah.
explained in the beginning. So what happened to the Christian church?
Okay.
That's the same thing they are trying to do to the Muslims here by doing this quote unquote queer LGBT. They would come and infiltrate that religion to get positions and eventually. So now what you're seeing, because your normal regular Christians are not, they are against this. They go by the book.
Yeah.
You have to remember this. So
Yeah.
now what they're even showing,
But they don't have
homosexual.
power. Those
No.
people don't have power.
But that's what I'm saying. They took their power away. So
Exactly.
what you're saying, so the point here is that's what they've taken out the Boy Scout. Just in case you haven't, they've taken even the sport. Now they're trying to infiltrate and take over Islam.
Yeah.
So pretty soon, if you will start, they already have imams coming out saying they are gay. So these people, hold on. These people, what they are doing is like, how now, like people see Christianity as that, right?
Yeah.
Is to join these religions and bring their ideology, take over, and dirty up the religion.
Yeah.
They make it look dirty and nasty. Like
Yeah.
if you're saying, oh, the Christians accepted it. Some of them did.
Yeah.
Because now they are afraid to speak up.
Speak up.
So there are Muslims, even in this West here, who are
Exactly in the West.
afraid.
Exactly.
Who are afraid? It's in the West. We're
Yeah, in
talking
the
about
West.
the West.
Exactly.
Yes.
So this is why I said Affidemos. We all know, Islam did not yield from the West. Obviously, we know that the West is a Christian nation. Obviously, if they have Muslims who are converts to become Muslims and they are promoting this gayism in their countries, we have no say. Muslims have no power in Europe. You cannot arrest somebody because he's a gay Muslim. You cannot, go and kill somebody because he's a gay Muslim. He is in the West. But where we know, where Islam is hailed from Africa and from the Middle East, I don't think
Islam
nobody
is not hailed from Africa. Islam hailed from the Middle East.
What are you saying?
Islam did not hail from Africa.
Afrodamus, can I make one statement? I have to go.
Go ahead, Andre.
Okay. I just want to say Judah is a Pan-African. He wants the
I'm not a
transgenders.
Pan-African, bro. Don't
Wait, let
call me
me
a
speak.
Pan-African.
Let me speak, man. Come on.
I'm not a Pan-African. I'm
Come
gonna
on,
correct you on
man.
that.
Judah is a black nationalist. He wants sub-Saharan Africa to be trans, and he wants religion and Christianity out of Africa. That's what he wants. He wants the degeneracy in Africa. I'm telling you, Judah is a cancer. I'm gonna go. Thank you guys for having me.
Bro, let me you have a nick on poop on the panel who's gonna call me a cancer just because I'm fighting for, I'm talking about what is real. And come on, man, these guys with the Muslim fanatics, they want to come here and preach all this haram stuff. Come on, man, stay quiet, let me talk. I have just few minutes. You have all these Muslim guys with Muslim fanatics. They believe that if anything that is wrong or with the society, it should be like all what they believe is if it's not right with their own Muslim religion, is not right for everybody. But if they go to little kids getting married to all their people, they wouldn't say anything. But when it comes to things that doesn't matter, they want to say, oh, it's haram. But they are all on social media. They are all doing these things, and all these things are haram. I'm gonna cut you short, man. Go ahead and talk. If you want to talk, go ahead.
Judah, just to let you know, we came from people, that had the old book of Islam. it actually goes all the way
Yeah,
back.
religion is
Yeah.
bullshit.
No,
Cut
I'm
that
just.
shit out and go to African religion, and that's gonna be what I'm gonna tell you.
Do you know what we do have Fulanis that actually stuck to the old-fashioned religion. When Islam came to
Nah, I've not
Africa,
seen that.
no,
I've really.
the Wudabe is still doing it. The Wudabe, when Islam came, they run
But
away
why don't you
miles away.
recite the Quran in your language? Why do you have to recite it in Arabic?
Wait, hold on. That's Judah. That's a whole different topic. But guys, we're like into 2 hours. So please, I'm
I
about
close?
to. Let's do our closings. Go ahead.
Okay. First of all, Judah, I'm begging you, please. I even me, I've been guilty of that in the past. I'm just gonna let you know. You see this world that we're living in. Yeah, this tribalism business is a cancer. Yeah. For example, the last time I remember I called the show specially to apologize to my brother there, because you know why? In fact, it's so funny. This world that we live in is so small. My oldest sister, my dad's first ever child, is only yesterday I find out her husband that she married to with 3 kids is actually a Soninke, like Afrodemus. Right? That must shocked everybody. Yeah. So he's a Soninke. I know him. He speaks Fula more than I do. Like some of the Fula languages I learn, I actually learn it from him. Yeah, they live in Germany. So, and my dad never took it lightly to give his daughter to someone outside the tribe, but someone from a Soninke background, someone from a Maninke background, he would, as long as they're knowledgeable, the culture anyway. And also when I told my sister exactly what I said in Afrodemos, so my sister laughed at me. My sister said, you actually mistaken Jeliba with Soninke. Soninke people are like Fula and Malinke. They will keep their cattle, their own cattle. If they're desperate for money, they will sell their cattle or sell their gold. They always got something, So this is one of the proudest people I ever walked the earth for you to say that. She said you should not apologize because that's not the Soninke, that's the Joliba. And remember the guy that last called the show the last time after too much?
Who?
The Jola brother. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, the Jola. He was the grill, right? You remember he came and asked me a question about the origin of the Fullers. I actually went on and done a lot of research to realize our ancestors actually went way back before West Africa to the Northwest Nile Valley. We're actually Nile Valley people. We are called Niger Congo because we left the Nile Valley from Nubia, and came to Niger Congo area and settled there before we came to West Africa. So this is the final study that's been done, and it go back to our outlaw groups, from the Mande group to the Fula to the Jola, and it's only the Landuma and a couple of other tribes that was in West Africa before we came there. So all of us that we're talking about to be claiming West Africa, we all came from Nubia. That's because I don't know what happened. We got driven away from the Nile Valley. And also the last thing you said on the show, you said Malinke came from Sudan. I said, no, it's wrong. They came from French Sudan. You was right, Afrodemos. Malinke did came from Sudan, not from French Sudan, Mali, just like the rest of us. On that note, I give you all love. Afrodemos, Jada, my boy, I'm glad for this show, I get beaucoup respect for you, brother. Yeah?
Thank you.
Okay, man. Love.
Thank you,
everybody.
All right.
Okay, take care, man.
Right. All right. Mal, closing statement.
Yeah. I think he didn't understand that much, because obviously if he had lived in West Africa, Mandinkas, everybody knows that Mandinkas come from the east, from Sudan. Mostly everybody understand that from the culture narratives and everything, and we settled. So the thing is, Afidemos, as I said, this Islam thing with this gayism, I think Islam did not accept gayism. You know that, and I know that, everybody know that. So the Christianity nowadays, they've been amending their religion towards the modern, world. So obviously they want Islam also to amend their laws, to be compatible with modern laws, which cannot be accepted in Islam. So, but in the West, what can you do with the gay Muslims? What can you do with the lesbian Muslims? You will not kill them. You will not attack them. You will not do nothing bad to them. So obviously, it's within their right, because here is not a Muslim country, and I guess every Muslim should accept that. If there is a Muslim who lives in the West and want to be gay, let him be gay. But preach that, let them because they cannot travel to other Muslim countries like West Africa and start doing that gayism business there. Obviously, so I
I
don't
mean,
see.
well, they can travel there.
Yeah,
I
but
mean,
they cannot do it there. I don't see that, as a big deal. But for Uganda, which is a Christian country, to put a death penalty on gayism, I think that is too extreme for them, because obviously their religious elites accepted it in their churches. Why will
and
they? Yeah.
did you forget what when the Hijab did his own?
No. But we are a Muslim country. We can
No,
understand that.
but you do realize Uganda is Christian, right? And Christians do not accept this. That's what I'm trying to tell you. Just because the West accepts it here in America, in America does things the opposite of everybody.
Yeah.
Remember that.
Yeah.
A lot of things that are accepted here are not accepted in most part
Yeah.
of the world. But
Yeah, and also this gay age limit for married, as Jude was saying, there is no age limit, like exact age limit to get married in Islam. You should get that. The thing is, if you have seen your menstruation as a lady, you are qualified to get married, because obviously you will be able to give birth to kids. So obviously you are
Wow.
approved. So it doesn't matter which age you are. So it's not like the West. The West, have put age limit like 18 years, you are adult. No, Islam doesn't have that. Islam said
So
very clearly, yes,
so if you have your menstrual cycle at the age of 12, you are good to get married.
exactly, you are approved to get married. You see?
Wow. And that's
So
not haram.
no, that's not haram, obviously, because
Wow.
obviously, wait, let me,
wait,
if you see,
no,
if
wait,
you see a menstruation,
Mark,
you are, you are
12
approved.
years. No, I mean, like, people don't
Wow.
do that,
No,
Wow.
Abidemus, the book said very clearly. Let's not just go trying to people not do that.
No,
The thing
no,
is,
I know, but
if you see your
so
menstruation as a woman, you are qualified to become a mother. So if they want to get you, you are qualified also to get married. That is simple as that. That is the age limit in Islam. There is
And
nothing
that's
like
why that
15 years,
religion needs to be banned
15
in
years,
Africa,
17
because
years. No.
Africans do not need that religion. Africans do not need it. We need to ban that religion. Let me do my closing statement. Let me go ahead.
Okay, I'm gone.
Academic. Let me.
I was trying so hard not to laugh, but you guys are wild, man.
Academics.
You guys are
Do
wild. I
you see a
swear.
religion? Do you
What
see
is
a religion where
what's going on? Like, what's wrong with you people, man?
Afidemus, do you see a religion that do not take into consideration the age of a child just because she got a menstrual cycle at the age of 10? She's good to get married.
Well,
That's not haram at all.
Judah, you haven't read it. You haven't read it.
No, but we heard it from Mal. Mal is a Malmut.
Well, go read it first, and and confirm if what he's saying is that's what it says.
And this is a thing that is wrong with us Africans, right? Because we take Europeans and Middle Eastern religion and make it ours, and we want to push more better than these people. When I came to America, right, I realized that the Christianity that is done in this country is not the way Africans do Christian religion. Americans do not take Christianity serious. They don't go to church. The way they go to church even is an hour mass and everything is over. In Africa, come and see how we proclaim Lord from 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. and nothing changes in Africa. The same with these Muslim Fulani people and all these East African. They believe that Muslim is their thing. And the way they proclaim God or Allah, you will think that the next day the whole country will change. But believe me, these people are still poor. Their countries are poor.
But Judah, the riches are in afterlife, Jannah. 72.
Oh man, come
you
on,
get
man.
Wait. You get 72 virgins. Rivers of milk flowing. Imagine you don't have to even milk the cow; it's already flowing in the river. River of water. Hold on, let me tell you, rivers of wine. You have to go read. So that's why the people they look forward to that. So your idea of what you're thinking and the people is different.
Right. But this is the thing. I mean, I'm on my way to work. So if you see me cut out, it means I'm on my way. I'm almost at work. But this is the thing, right? This religion is not part of us. I don't want to believe that we, even in African countries, we don't even use our own language to read the Quran. It's forbidden. You cannot read the
Yeah,
Quran in
but
another
Judah,
traditional
wait,
language,
Judah,
only in Arabic.
Judah,
It makes
you're
no
talking.
sense.
Hold on, you're speaking a whole different thing than the
Right. But
topic.
this is the thing. When it comes to like saying,
I don't know what happened to him. He needs to fix his internet. I truly, I would have loved to hear what he has to say. Let's see here, lady, saying, nah, Afridamo shut his conversation down. Well, I mean, lady, man, I get it. Some people, they have their viewpoints. We don't have to agree, but hey, it is what it is, I mean, I get it, yeah, the conversation probably blew your mind, but you guys are wild. Mal, thank you for the super chat. Guys, this is wild. Kabiru, what happened to you, Kabiru? Next time, call in when you're ready to talk, okay? Okay. So, ladies and gentlemen, you guys heard the conversation. I mean, as usual, the topic, and then people would veer off to, maybe their past beefs or whatever topic they have in their head that they think is way more important than what we have going on here. So, but either way, I enjoyed the conversation, and I hope you did too. I'm gonna close out here, but I will see you guys probably sometime tomorrow. We would do the Pan-African thing again. How some of the grifters who used to be Pan-Africans, and then now, not only they are not Pan-African, they don't even believe that they are from Africa at all. But either way, these conversations here is not a right or wrong, but it is to bring, these conversations that are usually, amongst people, is like, it creates controversy. It creates controversy. And as you can see clearly, like, people started going at each other's throat. That's what it always creates. There's no gray line. But still, the conversation is necessary, because one man's hero is another man's villain. Your poison might be someone's food, but don't try to feed someone your poison, especially if they see it as poison. Do not try to force feed it to them. Okay? So that's what I got for you guys. Until next time, I'm your host, Afridamus. And, for the great conversation, I would give Kaizo and all the panelists. I want to thank all of you. But this thank you leg would go to Kaizo in the closing. Until next time, I'm out.